do it this time.
Well, dark screen and all that then too.
Yeah. Perfect.
Now
All
we're
right.
good.
Good.
There we go.
We are live, Bangin Beers podcast. I think this is 23.
22,
No,
22,
23. I think 22 was
wow.
the fridge clean out, which was a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Ben fell asleep on the floor.
So I saw a
As
post
bored.
about that. So you just all the beer that you had, you're like, I gotta.
We tried and
A portion of it.
it didn't work out very well.
He failed.
Let me go up a little louder here.
I was stiff as a board. I can't even.
I think you're blue, right? Is that better?
There we go.
right.
There we go. I can hear myself now. Good.
All
Good.
Is it too loud or you good?
I'm good.
All right. Yeah. So we have. So what happens is we have a set amount of beers for shows, and then we had a few shows where the guests couldn't come. So then we're like, oh shit, we have these 4 beers, and we didn't want to we still want to review them and let people know like what we think about them.
Yeah.
But then Ben just sneaks more. Every time he shows up, he has like 8 more beers he sneaks in. Now that fridge can only fit so much. So then we're like, now we're getting to the point where like the older beers are getting pushed to the back, and then I don't want them to go bad. So then we're just gonna get rid of them before they get bad,
Right.
and we just try to drink all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't work out. Did not work out.
How many do we even do that? Episode?
A lot. We did a lot.
I know we did quite a bit.
A
It was
lot.
amongst like me, Tony, Tony's dad,
Dave.
Tony's uncle, and Dave.
Yeah.
So 5 guys. We were doing like. We had him.
We did a good job. We did a good job.
then
And
we look at-
on record, this is my first dry wine.
Mhm.
So we're gonna be kind of mixing it up. We'll be doing beer and wine.
Yep.
What is this one I'm drinking again?
You're drinking Merlot.
Merlot.
You're
And-
drinking Merlot.
and
Both
this
of
is-
these.
This is that with the bear.
Yeah, both of these are barefoot because
Barefoot,
I'm like a straight up basic bitch. So I'm 100%. I love getting barefoot wine. I'm like, it's so cheap, and I get where I need to be on there. And then like almost every week, I like threaten them to give me money for mentioning that I'm drinking their wine on my podcast.
Yeah.
This fucker's never given me money once.
Wow.
I constantly, and it's because I usually like do it in a really threatening tone. Like, give me goddamn money.
Yeah, that won't work.
I mention every goddamn week. Give me some fucking money.
It's hard doing this.
They
It's very
don't
hard.
do it, and I don't know why. I mean, I might have to start calling their office.
Yeah. Or do you tag them?
No.
Yeah, that's we tried doing that a few times with some stuff. And actually, we haven't gotten a sponsor out of it, but we have people like some of the breweries are like, hey, thanks for mentioning our beer.
Yeah,
Like we like this.
That's
Holy
cool.
shit.
Yeah.
Like
I think based upon the nature of the podcast I do, I don't know if many people want to be associated with it.
It's not terrible. Like it's not. I mean, obviously, I'm just gonna move you a little closer.
Okay.
It's just. I think a lot of it comes down to like where we just people think like, oh, I have to be. We kind of talked about a little bit off camera where people. There's 2 topics. It's religion and politics where people pick a side. Like to me, when I see politics, I see the Bloods and Crips. Like
They're both red and blue.
Yeah.
You're definitely right about this.
like they fight over stuff that's not theirs, and they fight over like I don't know. I'm kind of in like I know that this is a Joe Rogan quote, and I think it's funny. He's like, why do we still have to have a popularity contest for one person to rule everything? Are we still at that thing? Like I don't know.
Well, yeah,
he
and
does have a point.
I'm not going to go into my long spiel about how a parliamentarian proportional representation system would be much better for us.
Yeah.
But no, I get that, and I'm lucky that I do the podcast where like I have conservative. I'm a very progressive person.
Yeah.
I have a lot of conservative friends, and I let them on my like one of my favorite guests that I have is Dr. Neil Strine. He is a professor at Bloomsburg. He was my professor.
Nice.
And I spent most of the time in his class arguing with him. Like that's all we would do. Is literally just we would supposed to be learning about something, and then I would just start arguing with him. And we just argue, and then oh shit, we have to go do another class.
And people are probably like, this is great.
Oh my god, they're like, I'm learning so much.
Mhm.
Thank goodness this is happening right here while I'm trying to get a fucking degree. But no, he's come on my podcast, and I'm still he's a wonderful person. I just disagree with literally everything he thinks.
Yeah. I sway. Like that's why I can never. I don't even know what I'm registered as. I don't. I think I might be independent.
Oh, I forget what
I picked green the first time because I thought it was funny.
Because it was funny.
What?
Red, blue, green. It's Pokemon.
Yeah,
Little politics, yo.
Yeah, I picked leaf green. I went with Bulbasaur. That's what I thought. I don't know. And I think I think I was, because every time I go and get my license renewed, I'm just like, they're like, what do you want to vote as? And then like, I'm not a politic guy. Like I don't follow it. But so the one time I think I registered Republican, I think because the guy like kind of bullied me into it.
He's like, you know, where you live, right?
He's like, what are you voting as? Are you registering to vote while you're here? I'm like, are you want to change your party? And I was like, well, first off, I don't know why he even brought that up, because it was the only other time since then that was brought up. He's like, green? And I was like, yeah. He goes, are you gonna pick like a party? And I was like, what?
I did. It's green. It's my favorite.
Yeah. And he's like,
My favorite color.
and he's like, why don't you go like Republican or Democrat or something? And I was like, why? And then he kind of gave me like a little lecture, and then, which I don't think he's legally allowed to do as working at DMV. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'll say that's a weird call for the guy at the DMV to make.
Yeah.
Where he's like, let me just, you sit here and we're going to go through a civics lesson.
Yeah.
For 45 minutes.
So then he was kind of like flexing a little bit. He's like, Republican? And I was like, all right, I guess I'll be Republican for a year. Yeah. I was like, I'll be Republican. So I went to Republican. And I think I went Republican because I think my dad at the time, he still may be registered Republican. So yeah, I think it was just one of those things where I was like, oh, I talked to my dad a little bit like 2 days before that, so it was fresh in my mind. I was like, all right, I'll just go Republican. And I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. And then I went back the next time, and I was like, I'm going independent. Yeah. We'll get there.
Okay. He's like, I really want to fucking drink right now. What are we doing?
I gotta get rid. I need to know the science behind that wine.
I honestly couldn't tell you why you can take a liquid and put it in your mouth, and somehow your mouth turns into fucking Sahara Desert.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
don't get it. I don't get it one bit. I don't think it physically should make sense.
We're gonna do wine beer.
You know what? I highly agree with you.
Yeah,
I highly agree with you.
it doesn't make any sense. I love it, but it makes no sense to me. Okay.
I'll get you.
Thank you.
Whoop.
I don't know. It's stuck. I didn't
Yeah, so we got these made for us, and sometimes the glass is a little.
That's
deep.
really cool.
Yeah.
I think we could make another rotation around.
Yeah, well, we'll see how he feels about it, and then we'll go from there. Because if he has to dump it in one of our glasses, we're all about it.
Oh no.
So this is hemp tails. If you smell the can, it has a very nice aroma.
Odorous odor.
All right.
There is no CBD. There might be CBD, but there's no THC. Obviously, it's just beer. Instead of, I think it's made with hemp. To me, it tastes like it's a really good tasting ginger ale. That if you drink like 2 of these cans, I think it's an 8% alcohol, so it will smash you.
Okay.
But it doesn't taste boozy. I think it's a really refreshing drink. Like, I bought these, and I don't understand how people don't buy these more. I think they're really, really good.
Here we go. Let's go.
If you had a little bit of the wine, you're gonna blow through this like it's nothing.
This tastes like ginger ale.
Yeah. It's an 8% ginger ale that has like a little bit of a weed taste to it.
The aftertaste isn't my favorite.
Yeah.
But I think the initial taste in my mouth is like ginger ale.
Yeah.
And that works for me.
It's very fizzy. It has like a kind of almost like a soda feel to it.
Yeah. It does. And it's smooth.
This is just the regular flavored. There was another one, an orange flavored one. That one's really good.
Did we ever have that one?
I've had it on the show 3 times now.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm never not drinking that.
I had it with we did all 3 cans with Courtney Smith.
Okay.
Which I just remembered that was an old T102 lady's name.
No, I thought that was Dave Smith.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Courtney Smith too.
I don't remember.
Maybe.
Anyway, and then we had one with one of the bands. I forget which band we busted out with.
Now
I thought we had it.
Flatline. I had it with Flatline.
We had it on things that were not cool in high school, didn't we?
We might have. I bought every time I go to the cake stand. The cake stand in Monty City. I always pick up a can or 2 of it.
Stand?
Yeah.
Kicking some goddamn money right now.
No, they actually they don't give money.
Okay.
But when we go there, they do. They help us out a little bit with the beer costs, and then also like we trade a little bit sometimes. Like so they're really, really cool. They're super cool people.
You better keep being cool. No, sorry, I'm trying. I'm using my tactics. And they're not good.
Man, you gotta think of a different.
In my head, when you did that, all I got is the lady with the fucking Walker Texas Ranger sunglasses calling the cops on people.
Barbecue Becky.
Yeah,
He's being very aggressive. He's being incredibly aggressive.
Yeah.
My God,
that lady was annoying. And then who's the other one that called the cops on some little girl for like selling?
Oh, I forget what her name is.
She's selling water. I think.
Selling water, and she's like hiding behind a thing, like.
Yeah,
That's so bad.
I mean, it's a weird time when. I mean, this isn't like new. It's just the fact that we can like film this happening.
Yes.
Is why it's like prevalent now, where it seems like this sudden scourge of people calling the police on black people for just existing. It's like no, they did that before. You just didn't have a camera phone to fucking tell anybody.
And sometimes it just really depends on if it's a slow news day and what they want to cover.
That's true.
Yeah, because it's nothing that just started happening. It's been happening a long, long time. I remember the first time it happened to me, and I was just with my black friends, and I was just like, "Why are the cops here?" And they're like, "Because you're with us." And I was like, "That's a thing?" And they're like, "Oh yeah,
that's definitely a thing."
Yeah, I was like, "That's shitty," and he's like, "Yeah."
It's not fun.
That's shitty. Yeah.
I remember the first time I got my license, and I drove 4 blocks and got pulled over, and 5 cops showed up behind me, and I was like, "What did I do?" And they're like, "Oh, you're driving with black people." And I was like, "I didn't run a red light." They're like, "No, you didn't do anything.
You don't
wrong.
have to do that."
No, you had us in the car. You're getting pulled over every time." And I was like, "Well, this is stupid."
Yeah.
And
I think like we all like people try to emphasize it's like it's not all cops, not everyone's doing that. It's like fine, but there's an alarming amount that this is happening.
Me and Heidi just had a discussion about this morning. I like watching, and I don't agree with every single person that does it because I think there's some people who do it on YouTube and they do it very correctly, and then I think there's people on YouTube who do it and they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be the biggest asshole on the planet." And I watch both sides because I like to educate myself on how to handle certain situations and how not to.
Yeah.
But like when people do the First Amendment audits where they kind of just walk around in public and film, and then they get called for being suspicious, and the cops come in and try to put them in handcuffs and want their IDs and these.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, legally you can't do that because I can do what I want. You can give me your ID." And they're like, "What am I being committed for?" Like, "You're being suspicious," and you're like, "Well, that's still not a term to detain me." Like, and then I was like, "Well, just do what I say because I'm a cop." Like, and then cops have that mental shortage in their brain because like they're being challenged, and then me and Heidi had a whole talk about it. It didn't go very well.
It's an interest because I understand like both sides where someone's like it's a dangerous job, they're doing their best,
100%.
They're trying to it's like it's not all of them though. I understand like some of them are not doing their best.
Yeah.
Some of them are not doing something to protect someone else. They're doing it just because.
I have a lot of friends that are police officers, and they're all fucking cool as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then every now and then you get stuck with another cop, and it's not a great experience here.
I've been super lucky in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. I have been pulled over numerous times, all of which were warranted. And I'm constantly speeding everywhere I'm going. I have to get there before you. I have to fucking get there now. Yeah. So, but I don't know if I've been very lucky where most of my interactions with police as an adult have been fine.
Yeah.
And I understand that that's lucky for me because not everyone who looks like me gets that kind of deference and treatment.
And I think it comes down to obviously if you get pulled over and you just do as you're told, which they say, it would say 90% of the time it's gonna go okay.
I struggle with that specific sentiment. Where it's like do as you're told. It's like for example,
or we'll just not so much do as you're told.
Yeah.
You go through the correct motions. If and it just goes down to human interaction. If someone walks up to your car, obviously they're approaching you with caution, because and this does go to the whole statement where yes, you're being predetermined and you're being preconditioned. And that's the way our brains are. So someone probably walked up to your car as a very large black guy, and the cop was probably like, "Oh fuck, how's this gonna go?" And
very large? What the fuck?
You're tall. You're a tall big guy.
Tall.
You're a big guy. Not large as. Listen, I'm fat. I get it. No, but
I'm a large fella.
And you walked up and you're probably like, "Hi, how you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, okay." And it probably just solved the situation right there. Now, if you were just like, "Give me your fucking money,"
they're like, "Yo, oh my god, that would be cool." I would 100% next time I get pulled over, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
You let me out here with just a fucking warning right now.
No, do not do that.
Why?
No.
What do you think's gonna happen?
You'll be on News Watch 16.
That's for sure. That's for
WAP.
sure. Go fucking back up. We're gonna down. Look, I've been trying to get on the news.
We are here we are here at hour 3 at a parking incident.
It's just a
On the
standoff
highway. It's just
between
like,
me
oh my
and
God.
16
It's like-
police officers, where they keep coming to the window, and I'm like, just for me Get the fuck out of here. Like,
They'd be
no,
like, fair enough.
what? They'd be like,
The only thing
"Take
that
it,
makes
fair
me
enough."
so uncomfortable is when they're just quick to pull the guns out.
That's and like I just one thing that happens with that is they always are just like, you're not complying. It's like
Please just do something.
because psychologically,
Anything but that.
Yeah.
psychologically, you pulled out a gun and aimed it at a person, and they know that they could die at any moment. Your brain,
It's gonna react.
You literally up IQ points when you are dealing with certain trauma. Like,
and your brain's gonna take a fork. Are you gonna cry, or are you gonna get extremely agitated?
Or like you're not gonna be able to like, oh, let me behave rationally. Like, no, what are you talking about?
There's 14 of you, and there's one of me. Why do all 14 need their guns?
Let's hang on.
I don't have a bazooka.
Yeah, seriously. I've got an iPhone. Like, let's fucking relax.
That one video, and it was a white dude too. It was a white guy. I don't know the whole story. There's two different stories. One story is he was joking around shooting BB guns or pellets at people from his hotel room at his friends.
That's a dick move. But
Then
okay.
there's another one where he was literally just being seen from his hotel room from the street, and he had a gun.
Mhm.
But I guess he was at like an airsoft thing.
Oh, airsoft.
And
Yeah.
the cops showed up, and they had him in the hallway, and like they were literally making him do the hokey pokey. At this, like he was literally hands up, he was on his face, and all they had to do was walk up and make the arrest, and nothing would have ever happened. But this cop was just super aggressive, came in 100, like, yeah, you're showing up at a hotel and there's a guy with a gun. I'm playing devil's advocate because that's usually what I do at all situations.
Of course.
So cop showed up, and it's like, okay, I'm coming to a gun. But now, once again, you're in a hallway. He is on his face. He keeps telling the cop, my pants are falling down. Like,
I remember that, yeah.
And they're like, get on your knees, get back up, grab your feet, then touch your head. Like,
Put your left foot in.
Yeah.
Put your left foot
that's
out.
literally what they're doing. And he's just like,
Might as well
he's
at
just
that
screaming,
point.
please just come arrest me. Like, he's like, I don't know what. And then I guess they told him to get up, and his pants start falling down, and he didn't want his dick out, I guess, like, which is reasonable.
Fair enough.
I think
Fair
that's
enough.
a fair
Assessment.
And he grabbed his pants, and they lit him up,
Yep.
and he died, and no one got in trouble. Like, I was like, at one point when he's laying on his face, you just go make the arrest, like. And this isn't like me hating cops.
But to be fair,
This is just me like not wanting people to die over nonsense.
For the love of God, please be practical.
let me give the counterpoint. I'll play devil's advocate.
Okay.
This time. His dick might have been being aggressive.
They might have been.
We don't know if his
He's got a huge dick.
we don't
He's
know.
not a veiner.
How do you
He's
know
not
that
a
his dick
veiner.
didn't have a gun?
Yeah.
We don't know what happened
know.
there.
It's a veiner. Look out.
I just you wanted that so bad. You're
Yeah.
like, well, they didn't react the first time. Make it again. They're gonna fucking react to this. No, I think that all too often, all too
If you
often,
swing at the plate, you're gonna hit a home run.
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. But no, I think that there's always this you want to react to a certain situation, and it seems like there's always this escalation that is not necessary.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a lack of training. I don't know if it's just personality-wise what happened, but that's it. There's always this like next step up for something that does not need to be there.
Mhm.
Like when you're just a kid playing with a pellet gun in a park and a cop arrives and shoots you in like a half a second. That's not necessary.
We would have been shot so many times as kids. We used to play Manhunt or Cops and Robbers.
Yeah.
And run around with fake guns.
You played Manhunt with fake guns?
Yeah.
Whenever I played Manhunt, I grew up here too. I played Manhunt, but we just like hid under cars and shit. We didn't,
Yeah.
like no one had a weapon.
Well, I don't think we played Manhunt with guns. We played like Cops and Robbers.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
like stuff like that. Like, and we'd have and this is before they put the fucking orange caps on them to make them not look like
Oh
they're real
yeah,
guns.
yeah.
That's so crazy dangerous
Yeah.
now.
But and a lot of it comes down to, I know a lot of people like, especially, we won't side. I won't take a shot, but I was gonna say like the fucking right side. But people are like, what the fuck do people just think that it's like that? Well, A, you've never experienced it, and B, I don't give a shit who you are. If you're raised for the most part by shitty people, and you're raised in Schuylkill, like a small little white area, you're pretty much predetermined to see someone who's not white and immediately think suspicion. And I don't care, like, and that's what police officers also train too. Like, we have to change the way it's perceived and the way people think about things. It's just not like
100%.
how many times have you heard cops go, all right, even like Los Angeles, when I go to this neighborhood, you do
Watch
this
the
because
fuck out, or
exactly
do whatever. Yeah.
And it's sort of like a situation where you see it's sort of unfair. It's you're treating one area as if everyone in that area is absolutely horrible, and then another area where things are going to be completely fine.
Yeah.
Usually, it's because one area has a higher minority population than another.
And and once again, I'll play devil's advocate here. You also have the same neighborhood who predetermine and teach their kids to be afraid of the cops and treat them with disrespect and do that because of the way they've been treated. And then you also have a culture where they're just like, hey, it's cool to kind of be hard and be a gangster and not show weakness and not be a punk. And that also relates to people getting hurt and killed as well.
Well, I think I sort of see where you're at there. I definitely think that when you're people of color are 100%, they have a very good reason to teach their kids, hey, they're not going to protect you.
Yeah.
Because they're constantly not protecting them.
Yeah.
So I think that they, and I think that's definitely taught where it's like kids of color tend to have a horrible conversation with their parents about the police, where it's like, okay, if you see the police, if they stop you, if they want to talk to you, don't suddenly
just lay
just
down.
be very nice when they do whatever they tell you to, because they literally have to tell their kids, they have to try to teach their kids how not to get killed.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible conversation for a
100%.
parent to have.
No, I agree.
That sucks. This is a super uplifting topic.
First hot button topic. Check. Nailed it.
All right, good.
Yeah, but yeah.
Let's talk Darfur next, guys. We're gonna solve this genocide real quick.
So how did the podcast come about?
Oh yeah. Okay.
As we crack open the banana split milkshake.
So I'm getting that was really good. I didn't have to chase. I brought the wine because I'm like, I might have to chase.
Yeah.
I might have to chase this with something. But
do you like bananas?
No.
All right, you might need a chaser then.
Okay, let me go ahead and pour a little mini glass of Merlot here. But yeah, so it's been almost a year. I'm sorry, actually, it's been a little bit over a year.
When did you start?
I want to say my first episode aired June 23rd of last year. So
Okay.
I think I literally just passed my 1 year.
We're coming up on our year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
When did you guys start?
November.
So each show kind of started a different date.
Yeah.
But I see the shows as all collective one family.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like how Kevin Smith has all his shows.
All of his movies are in the same universe.
Yeah, that's kind of how our podcast resides. So everything's under the Interviews with Everyday People umbrella, but they all have their own little thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan?
Oh, good.
Very banana-y.
As I said earlier, it tastes like every interaction I have with my dad. A little bit unpleasant, or a lot unpleasant. But just to be clear, I don't like beer, so it's not.
This one does have a beer taste.
It's not like it's the beer's fault.
Yeah,
the beer didn't do
that.
This.
Actually aged. This is not super old, but it's not. It has been. It's been a little around for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That banana flavor really came out.
I still have some of the cans of that yet.
Yeah, it has a lot of banana left. You don't have to drink it if you don't want to.
Dude, I'm fucking here. I'm doing it.
It's like Hot Ones.
I'm doing it. It's you watch those?
Yeah, I love Hot Ones.
They're really funny.
I'm actually doing a episode like that very soon.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see it.
I'll have to talk to you a little bit.
And
later.
I'm not a hot.
You're not good with hot stuff?
No, at all.
That's fantastic. That makes it so much better.
I'm going to die on camera.
That is it. The guy that we're having the following Sunday. This Sunday.
It's I believe it's next Sunday.
Yeah.
It's our next episode.
Good luck.
It won't be live. It'll be
okay.
Yeah, because I don't know the internet situation there and all that. But it's actually his name is Hot Heads Hot Sauce.
Okay.
He was at the School County Brew Fest this year.
Oh, cool.
So I've tried. I don't know if it's his hottest hot sauce, but I've tried one of them, and I coughed. It got me. But it was very
flavorful.
It was tasty. It tasted good.
Yeah.
So if I
It tasted good until the part where your mouth starts burning to death.
yeah, but it wasn't like it was like I didn't die,
Give you a
but
little zip.
but it was like, wow, that's really fucking hot. But I only did like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
Man.
I can't imagine like eating a wing.
Yeah.
But it went away eventually. But it was like, okay, that actually had a really good taste to it.
Mhm.
So at least if like I hate when like someone's like taste this hot sauce and it's just like you literally like you know how like when you put a battery on your tongue, it just has that unpleasant feeling.
Yeah.
If I get that right away, that's not a hot sauce for me. Like at least I wanted to taste good.
Or
Yeah.
like a hot cold.
You want it.
like
You want that.
and like
You want that taste before the annihilation.
Oh, that's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, that's not the. Oh, and it's there. It goes. That's perfect.
So
It's over.
we actually we're actually all out of it. That's the only reason why you're not on the show today, Goombas. But we met this guy at a wrestling event, and he has his own barbecue salsa, like chip, like
That's cool as shit.
and he has a mild and a hot.
Uh-huh.
And I ate more of the hot than I did the mild because it was so tasty. Like it had a really good, and the heat made the taste better.
Mhm.
And I'm not a hot guy at all, and it was
Right.
delicious.
I think you're pretty at that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, what the hell, man?
I mean,
well, I know.
You just
You're
rolled out of
talking-
bed 10 minutes ago. Shut up.
Fair enough. Fair
Spoiler
enough.
alert.
So getting back to, so I used to, me and my friends would always talk politics. I went to BU and got Bloomsburg University, and I got a political science degree. So I spent like most of my time there just talking about politics, writing papers about politics. I
kill it.
immersed my life in it. And I'm that guy at the bar who's talking with his friends about politics and being super drunk while doing it.
Yeah, it's the best.
And some of the conversations that we had were like, they were hilarious. They were eye-opening. So it's like, what I'm like, I kind of want to record it and see how it goes.
Mhm.
And it just came out of a Facebook post where I'm like, if I do this, does anyone want to be on and who's going to listen?
Mhm.
And I'm lucky enough that people listen. So I've been doing that for a year. And then I have a friend who likes to talk sports with me. So we do one where we get drunk and talk about sports.
Mhm. That's literally how all of ours started. It's just like we used to sit and Bangin beers started because we used to sit and he used to bring a bunch of beers over. Like, hey, I want you to try
Bring
these.
like a 6-pack.
Yeah.
We play video games.
And we would
That
just
was our thing.
and we would play video games and talk and hang out and drink beers. I'm like, man, we should just do like a beer show. And we did. And I'm like, well, let's do a show. It's like we talk video games, movies, that like normal fucking pop culture reference. So we did that one. And then I'm like, well, I also like pro wrestling. I did one mixed martial arts, but I kind of got away from mixed martial arts. I'm not saying I don't like the sport anymore. It just I had to pay more money to do it.
Yeah, it's rough when you have to like pay to watch.
UFC, yeah, for the most part, my favorite thing to watch was UFC. I'm a brand guy. I'm a sheep.
That's fair.
And if you put everything
That's
behind,
why Apple owns my life.
yeah,
And they know where I am at all times. And
Yep.
So on and so forth.
yeah. So once UFC was kind of like, you have to pay more money to watch our stuff. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I already pay for your UFC subscription,
Right.
and that gets me nothing.
Yeah, so what's the point of
Now I have to pay an ESPN app, and then pay for every pay per view.
Yeah, that's
I'm over it.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
And then my mom and dad was like, "Hey, you should do a beer show because they had like they watched this like Johnny 6-pack or whatever." And I'm like, I watched it and like just like an old like 55 like 60-year-old guy with his other buddy drinking beer. Oh, beer. And I'm like, oh shit, like, and I was like they were doing like all this different beer, and I figured I'm like, I mentioned it to him then too. I'm like, hey, we should actually provide actual beer,
Yeah.
like flat out, and do it that way. And then he was like, yeah, we'll do
And
it.
it
And
started
then
off with just
ever
us
since
just
then.
kind of hanging out, drinking beers, and talking. And then I was like, I kind of like the interview aspect of it, so we can have guests on, try
have a
some
little
beers
fun.
with them.
Yeah.
And it's not even like we're going to talk about beer the whole time. We kind of have a
No.
normal
Oh, God,
conversation,
no.
and then in between conversation, we're like, what do you think of the beer?
Yeah. See, like I said, I listened to the Infinity Hops episode.
That one was all about
That was
beer.
a fun
Because that was like that linked like a bunch of stuff. That linked stuff that I like, which includes drinking, talking to people, and talking about the adventure.
That was
Yeah.
a fun episode.
So-
100%.
I listen to that and I'm just like, oh no, they are very technical about this beer.
Yeah.
They're talking
Well,
about the
was
flavor
actually-
profile.
That came
They're-
from like Texas. That beer was not easy to get.
Honestly, that I take huge pride in that episode, and I just absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
See, I go to New York and go and grab all these beers, but I have a whole backlog of sours. It's like I forget. I actually have like a whole like spread, not really a spreadsheet, but like a mock-up spreadsheet of like
Don't laugh at
how
my
many
face.
beers. I'm just like, holy shit, this is what we have. And then I said to this one guy, we actually gave him plugged into. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna give you all these 12 beers for all 7 of those, and then glassware then too. And he's like, done. I'm like,
And I'm
done.
I went out and bought an Affinity Gauntlet.
That was cool
Yeah.
shit.
oh, that was like probably one of our best episodes.
So here's what's happening right now to
Absolute
Ben. So Ben drank all last night, and he's the second beer in, and he already is glossed over. So he's immediately back to where he was last night. That's what's happening right now. On this side.
you got me. Yeah.
That's what you gotta do. Literally on Alcoholics.
This is hair of the dog right now for Ben right now.
I think the first half of the episode is the most.
I'm hitting my stride at least, though. I'm hitting my stride at least.
You gotta hit that stride. The first half of the episode is like where I'm most coherent, and then I think you can start to hear like later in the episode that I just start to like some of my words start meshing together, and it's like I don't think he knows what he just said.
Yeah.
So
No, you're doing a bottle yourself, right? Like a bottle of
I
wine.
usually drink a bottle of my own.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, we
wow.
share a can.
Amongst how many people? Though?
Yeah.
Oh well,
So it's like we're not like for
Some people think
liability.
when they come on the show that they have to drink a can themselves.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
but you are very nice about it. You're like, no, we're sharing
Wow.
this. I'm there. I'm like, do you want anything? I'll be drinking everything over here. Like all of the stuff I have over here, I will be destroying myself on. So you can have whatever you'd like.
So, on your show, what is one of the maybe like a hot button topic or something that came up in politics that you guys talked about that maybe you guys met in the middle or had a decent conversation about?
I mean, we've had I co-host it with my wife Katrina, and for the most part, we tend to agree. There's not really like we don't really have too many arguments, but before she just joined as like the co-host like recently.
Mm-hmm.
So previously I would have people on where like I would have like my conservative friends on. Like I've had my conservative friend Kyle on. I've had Dr. Terrayne, who's a conservative friend of mine. I've had him on. I had Terrayne on when I don't know if I get too inside baseball, please let me know.
Yeah.
But I had Dr. Terrayne on when Brett Kavanaugh was being confirmed for a seat on the Supreme Court, and there was a hearing where they were doing a hearing because Dr. Christine Blasey Ford came out and said that he sexually assaulted her at a party when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And we had like it wasn't a heated discussion because I think I showed him a lot of deference because I don't like to like get on. I don't have like really like intense back and forth with people. But I wanted to press the issue and I should have pressed it a little bit more, but I didn't. But one of the things that like got to me was one of the things that he said was like I could see myself in Brett Kavanaugh's shoes right now. I'm in a position that something like this could ruin the rest of my career.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's coming out and saying something like that. It's like that. I understand that. Like that was one of the times where I was like, I understand where you're coming from there. Do you understand where she's coming from? Where usually people don't come out and say this person sexually assaulted me just because they're like, I'm gonna mess with them.
Yeah.
Like there's no upside for her to do that. So that was like one point where I think he was able to see like, oh, okay, I actually have not once thought about it from her perspective.
Yeah.
But I did think about it from his perspective because I am a Republican. He is a conservative judge that I want on the Supreme Court for the rest of his life, so he can enact,
hold the house.
He can hold the court in a conservative majority.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought like with him, I wouldn't mind. My thing was with Kavanaugh, I wouldn't mind if they would have picked like just another horrifically conservative judge who didn't have sexual assault allegations looming over them. They had a lot of different options. They had a lot of options that they can do. They had like a lot of conservative judges that had the ability to serve, and they were younger than him. They could have been on for longer. They had all of that. And I just
Yeah.
thought it was really fucking crazy
Yeah.
that they're like, no, you're gonna fucking take this one. This is the one we're putting up, and we're not changing it. I'm like, that's crazy. Why?
You're gonna fucking take
Oh, all right, Ben. Ben's in his stride.
Let's go ahead. That was definitely go.
That's awesome.
It's just like that monologue, that private monologue in an action film, like, goddamn son of a bitch.
I'm like, where? I guess that's Eastwood. Are we doing Eastwood right now?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's.
I didn't
that's
know
probably
what
based.
I didn't know what the voice was when I do it. I don't know, but I think now that I'm hearing you do it, it's Eastwood.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. I need a shot 5 or 6 shots, punk. So you got your goddamn lucky day.
Oh my god!
Get off my lawn.
No,
Get off my lawn.
Do it again, Ben.
What?
Do it again.
Oh, you're gonna do the.
Do it again.
You're gonna. Get off my god.
Didn't work. Didn't work at all.
Oh no. Okay, we were fucking around with one of the episodes. We were fucking around with the voices.
That didn't work at all.
Not the one. Clearly, it didn't.
remix. Oh, I have one. If I can find.
Oh man. Oh. Get off my goddamn lawn.
Nailed it. All right. Anyway.
That was horrifying.
We did that.
Honestly,
You're gonna take Judge Kavanaugh and you're gonna fucking like it.
Oh my god,
anyway.
that's perfect. Oh my god,
Our show just figures
because
stuff out.
that's exactly what it felt like was happening.
And ironically, it was like 2 episodes ago that we figured that out.
I knew it for a while, but we were really drunk, and I'm like, this will be funny.
Oh my god.
Oh my!
Yeah.
You know what? The best thing was we should record it like post beer banging beers, just for the fact that because
we had a big
I just
beer
kept
with Sarah,
going.
and we just drank a lot, and then it turned into just like we just started playing Cards Against Humanity, and we did like a 4-hour episode.
And I did like droning questions like at the end of that episode. Oh my god!
Then we
it
went
was
live
fun.
on Instagram for like forever. It was out of control, but
I love Sarah. Oh my god, Sarah. She's no joke when it comes to fucking. She'll come over and she'll drink me under the table.
yeah,
And she'll still be
Damn.
more coherent than I am.
yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah, that situation. The only thing that had me skeptical with that, and it sucks that we live.
Skeptical.
Yeah. Here I are.
There we go.
Drunk guy.
Yeah.
No.
Cheers.
The only thing that makes me like that, I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about either side of it, and it sucks to even think this way as a human.
Mhm.
I didn't believe either one of them. I didn't, only because like in that situation is our political system and the way that the Democrats and Republicans are so cutthroat for each other.
Uh-huh.
I literally felt like, all right, you're gonna go in there and say this shit, and we're just gonna take this dude down because like I honestly think it's like a fucking episode of Game of Thrones where they're trying so hard to get at the other one that they're just like fishing. Like, do I think Trump's amazing? No, but do I think there's some things that are okay? Maybe. But I think it's
Trump and I agree on infrastructure. What he says, at least.
Yes.
He wants more
What he
spending
says
on
and what he does.
infrastructure.
Exactly.
Exactly. He sometimes says stuff and then doesn't actually mean that stuff.
I watched this one the other day where he was gonna say something about like a dollar amount, and he almost like said the realistic amount, like Dr. Iwep, like millions. And he went, billions. Like he has to always say billions.
He does. He is an
He's
interesting
amazing.
character.
He's the best president in comedy aspects.
See, that's the thing. I remember back when he was running and like a bunch they interviewed comedians all across, like everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're like, wouldn't you love a Trump White House? And everyone's like, no. Like it'd be great for me for a little bit, but I also would like for the democracy to continue to exist.
Now out of those 2 candidates, you would have went Hillary.
I did vote for Hillary Clinton.
Yes. It literally came down. I was one of those people who I was just like, man, I can't trust either one.
Uh-huh.
I just thought like it's like who's the worst devil?
And I think that's what that's an attitude that we have in our democracy now, where we are. I mean, we're in a very polarized time.
Yeah.
Where one side just completely believes one thing, one side just completely believes another thing.
I don't
And
understand
there's
why
not
people
a lot
can't
of
stay in the middle and say, I'll take, like, grocery shopping. I like this. I like this. I like this.
And I understand that. It's one of those things where centrists on both sides don't really exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like
really?
they don't
Yeah.
they it's very hard for them to exist. For example, I don't know if there's a such thing as a moderate or liberal Republican anymore.
Yeah.
I have a friend who comes on my podcast whose name is Kyle, and he calls himself a liberal Republican.
Does he drink a monster Does he drink a monster 24/7?
Weirdly enough, I've never seen him drink Monster, but
Okay.
I'm gonna bring that up with him. No, I'm gonna bring that up with him next time. I'm gonna see because he's not once punched drywall at my house.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm lucky enough. that has not
I
happened.
love the joke. I love the joke roll.
But so we'll see. I'm gonna put a monster in front of him and see if he fucking
what
explodes.
would make him a liberal Republican?
I believe he says that I do apologize, Kyle. I'm very sorry if I'm mischaracterizing what you believe. But he says that on social issues he is more liberal, and on economic issues he is conservative.
Okay.
And I think that makes sense in a way. And that really we don't have that anymore. Like politicians that were liberal Republicans just either became independents or Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lincoln Chafee was a Republican governor of Rhode Island, and then he became an independent, and then he became a Democrat and ran for president.
Well, you have to. Well, that's a shitty part about having, to me, the two-party system is you can't be an independent and get anywhere.
No.
You have to eventually.
That's why Bernie Sanders runs as a Democrat every time he's running for president.
But you kind of already like Bernie Sanders before he even walks in the door is like, you're just trying to pretend to be us because you know that you're trying to find a loophole in our system.
A lot of Democrats look at him that way.
Yeah.
Including I used to. I used to really be like, well, he's not really even a Democrat. He's just a Democrat when it suits him. I'm like,
but he has to play the loophole because he has no chance to even get.
He doesn't. He has no ability to become the president as an independent. We don't have that system set up, which is why partially I'm like proportional representation would be great. It's to be super
make it a triple threat match.
To be super specific, well, that'd be
wrestling reference.
But instead, like you kind of just throw away like. It's more of like you go and you vote for a specific.
How much more exciting would the fucking election be every year? If it was like a fatal four-way.
I've literally said
Jesus
that it would be great
Christ.
if the election was just a fucking street fight. Like I want to see. I think
that's even better.
I gave tips. I think
who would have won that fight? Bernie, Hillary, or Trump? If it was a triple threat race.
I don't know. Trump would have gotten a guy and it'd been like
he would have been gassed in 3 minutes. He'd have been gassed in 3 minutes. The only match he would have had
paid his way out.
If somebody would have tried to pull his hair, it would have came right off.
Yeah.
Well, like the jokes on you.
He wears a tie that is conservatively 45 feet long.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just grab it and
choke
move him around with
it,
or choke him with it, or just pull him close and beat him across the head.
Did you think that was going to be a topic today? Who would have won a street fight?
I literally
Bernie, Hillary, or Trump.
I gave Joe Biden this exact advice on my podcast before. Just grab him by the tie and just start batting him around.
What you really could do is that if his tie was that long, just whip him across a bridge.
Who said you're on a bridge?
Hey,
is this Street Fighter?
American East went any which way but loose.
I thought you were just starting.
Do you ever watch Clint Eastwood's Any Which Way But Loose?
Never.
No joke. It's like a fucking full-out street fight for like the whole entire movie, and like Clint Eastwood beating the shit out of this other guy, and the other guy beating the shit out of Clint
Is there
Eastwood.
a plot?
Basically, it's a fucking full-fledged street fight where they're just beating the shit out of each other for like an hour and a half.
Why I didn't watch this movie?
I'm like, I don't think there's a plot.
No, but there's a point to it though. Like
speaking of street fight,
he's
I watched
sticking up for himself. Fucking right, man.
For an hour and a half.
For an hour and a half.
I gotta stick up for myself.
I want to watch that movie.
Did you ever watch Black Mirror?
I love Black Mirror.
Did you see the episode where the one buddy buys the other buddy a video game?
Yes, I did.
They fuck on it.
When Falcon keeps having sex with his friend.
Yes.
When new Captain America's fucking his crazy hot friend. Yes, I did. One of my favorite parts is
I can never watch a fighting game ever.
One of my favorite parts
is
when
Street Fighter. No. Fuck you,
Where
where they're in the
You're trying to
game.
kiss me, bro.
They're in the game and they like get closer to each other, like they're gonna like they have like
Now I gotta watch
the
it.
actual fight like stances,
Yeah.
and they just move closer and they just start making out. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
Like,
the girl character always comes in like ready to fight, and the boy character is already loosening his legs.
he's like, all right, let me just unbuckle this, and all right, I'm gonna give it to you.
It was a great episode.
Oh my god, it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was really funny.
I watched that with my wife, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm watching it, and then they like fight, and I'm like, are they about to? Oh, they are.
There were a couple of times where I'm like, oh, they're gonna fuck each other, and then they didn't, and I'm like, oh. And then later, they're just straight getting down to Bone Town, and I'm like, oh, I called it.
Yo,
Here's your real question.
Could you imagine? Hold on, could you imagine if like in 10 years we get virtual reality, and like you log on to play like Madden?
That's what's going to happen.
You log on to play Madden, and everyone's just a giant orgy.
That's what's 100%
I hate
going to
to
happen.
play football.
Like you're like, all right, here we go.
Oh,
All right, I'm the Packers. Let's do the man. And Aaron Rodgers is just getting destroyed. He's just getting
No pun
rained up
intended.
loud.
like, oh, cool! I can't wait to buy the new Street Fighter. The guy gave stuff like, dude, you're never gonna get in a fight.
Trust me.
It's
Don't
just-
play online.
It's just an online. It's just an online orgy.
Do not play online. You want to play locally,
And that's what-
unless you're trying to fuck everyone.
And that is why game developers
I talked to my wife about it. I'm like, this is 100% gonna happen.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is 100% gonna happen. There's no way. But my thing
Online
was,
video game is gonna be fucking hilarious.
my thing was, why was this not something that his wife knew about before? Like, there's no way if you find this feature, you don't tell everyone about it.
Yeah,
So this would be like headline news, like, oh,
and
okay.
he even said like later in the episode, he's like, it's not the same because me and you know each other.
Yeah. Well, he was like, I keep fucking the computer players, but they just stand there.
Yeah.
Lifeless. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, and then he's like, I met this dude from another country and we tried it. It's not the same connection.
I know you.
Yo.
We're best friends.
Yeah,
That's why it's so intense.
Yeah, I'm around this guy from fucking Bangkok, banging shit all over the place.
all right, you're
Banging sticks.
He
No.
really wanted the banging.
Yeah, he wanted to pull that Taiwan, Bangkok in there.
Banging.
You have to watch the episode.
Just straight up banging beers, man.
Now I have to watch it now because like
It's crazy.
here's the burning question I want to ask.
Yeah.
Who's losing vitality, the guy or the girl?
No one.
No one.
No
They're
one.
both gaining strength.
Basically,
Yeah.
they had like full health bars.
Their bars
They're
just keep getting
Alright,
longer.
so here's
no
what-
pun intended.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. They in the episode because you didn't watch it. Now we have to do the whole thing.
No. You
Alright,
just give me
so
a general framework.
They,
Okay,
play,
so-
they play the video game. They put this little thing on their temple,
Okay.
and it literally ports them into the game.
Mhm.
They feel everything the game feels, everything. So
Yo,
then them and their
okay.
buddy are fist fighting, and then the one buddy is always picking the female character, and he picks the male character, and then
Dude's name is Lance, right?
Yes.
The male character's name's Lance. I don't remember the female character.
I don't remember either.
I'm gonna look it up. while
They
you
have
tell the story.
they end up having like they start kissing in the game, and they do like the oh my god,
I
and they
can't
click,
believe
like,
that. Log off.
quick log off, and then they like talk the next day, and they're like, dude, I was drunk. And they're like, me too. You want to play again? I'm like, sure. Then they get in the game.
That's why they didn't even like throw a punch.
Yeah, and they did.
Kyle's theme music goes with everything.
So then they just started having sex
Yeah.
in the game.
Oh, I got to show him.
And then they just like and the whole episode becomes like he's having like a secret relationship with his friend.
Yeah.
Yo.
And his wife is starting to get pissed. I thought it was a pretty happy meeting at the end.
I literally was watching that with my wife and wondering. I'm like, we just kept because I paused it. Like it was literally like we were.
And then you
Like,
gotta, like,
I
if this
just kept
happened to
pausing. I
us,
was like,
how-
what is happening?
Yeah,
How are we gonna deal with this? And then
I
at the
love
end, where
Black
they're
Mirror. I
like,
love
they're
it.
like, we're just gonna be in an open relationship where I don't know if it was once a month. I get to go out and fuck random guys while you go get to play this video game and fuck your friend. It's like, I guess that's an okay.
Is that a
solution.
fair? Is that a fair trade?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you're physically still feeling it either way
Yeah.
because in the virtual reality, kind of still you still get the sensation.
I asked multiple times, is this actually cheating? Is this cheating? Yes, it is.
If you're
It's-
virtual reality,
You're still
yeah.
cheating.
Because I feel like back in the day, this was kind of a thing at one point. Like when people didn't like the internet, people had like crazy amount of like first it started with like phone sex, right? Like I'm gonna call this chick phone checks, but I have a wife. Anyway.
I'm doing great.
So like you call
No, we're not gonna keep doing this.
Yeah.
Move away from that microphone.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Drunk idiot.
That's how you handle it. No.
So like yeah, it started with phone sex and then internet, and then people had internet sex.
Yeah.
And then people had like would log on the internet and meet up with somebody that you hoped was someone you were into.
I'm trying to move this away
No, you're
from
good.
the microphone.
No, it's cool. It's ASMR. But yeah,
Oh, that's natural.
and now that would just be I feel like the next like if we had virtual reality. I mean, we kind of did because what was that game? Second Life.
Yeah.
Like that became a thing where like I'm married, but I'm gonna put so much time in this video game to go hang out with my virtual husband.
Like Second Life was great, where it's like I work by day. I work in an office, but by night I also work at an office, but a different virtual office.
Yes, and I fuck my boss. Yeah.
Boss.
I hang her up by the ankles, and she just takes that paperwork all day and all
The
night.
paperwork.
See, drunk Ben and sex are not good combinations.
I don't like where his mind is.
Yeah, he takes it to
I
another
don't
level.
like where his mind is gone. It's very vivid.
Have some water. You need to fucking come.
What my question for you is, and I don't know. Are you also a Black Mirror watcher?
No.
Black Metal Watcher, no, not really. I've kind of not really experienced it before, but at the same time,
Do you know what he's talking about?
No.
Black Mirror.
The show Black Mirror.
It's a show on Netflix. I knew he had no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I thought you
What
said
did you think I said?
Black Mayor.
Are you a Black Mirror watcher? Are you a big fan of? Do you like to just check out mayors while they're black and in their city?
When you were saying it, I literally watched your words go right over his skull.
He's like, I'm a pretty big Newark Mayor Cory Booker fan. I like him. But
See, my faults show up in your favor though, because you kind of know politics a lot better than I do.
I literally was just
You're like this guy. I'm like, wow.
I was about to just start naming random Black Mirror.
Well, there you go.
What's your favorite Black Mirror episode?
So I just started the newest episode, the newest season.
Yeah.
And then the other ones like that, like I just binge watched. That's why I think too. I think binge watching for people is not a good thing.
Why?
Because I don't think people retain it as much.
Really?
Yeah, I think if you binge watch something and you watch 14 episodes in one day, I think you're just kind of getting through the motion. You're rushing through a story. Or if you watch one episode a day, you're gonna have a day to think about that episode and really pile over it. Because if I would have just watched that one episode with the Street Fighter and then went right to the next one, I would have probably not even because I watched that's kind of what I do. Only because I don't have time to binge watch.
Yeah. Well, you have 49 podcasts that you have to record, so you're very busy.
But yeah, so that's where I like sometimes where people like binge watch. Like I think they miss things. Like now I binge watch a lot of other episodes, and there's only a few of them that really caught my attention. I thought the one with the social media where you rank people was crazy.
Oh, Nosedive.
Yeah, that one was insane. And then the one where her husband dies, so she buys the service.
Be right back.
Yeah, where she.
I'm a weirdo, by the way. I know the names of the episodes.
The only reason I would actually do that is that when you basically put a disc in like the old school way, and you're like, oh, it might be a good episode, and you remember the title. Like I don't. Once you binge watch it, you don't see really, that. It just
you don't necessarily get that.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'm gonna counterpoint you on that. I binge watch pretty much everything. But the thing with me is I do it differently in the sense that I will watch something numerous times.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many times I've watched How I Met Your Mother, Scrubs. Can't really time I cried during this.
Scrubs.
Scrubs
makes you cry.
Really?
I never watched Scrubs.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like I would love it because
no
everybody
way.
on Scrubs is people I like.
Yeah, Zach Braff, Donald Faison, but Sarah Chalk,
which is also on Rick and Morty as the mom.
She's Beth. She's Beth on Rick and Morty. Fucking hilarious. She's fantastic.
She hit her stride.
Yeah. Faith in Exile does a sample of Rick and Morty before one of their songs.
Do they really?
Yeah.
What part? Like, what is it?
It was hard to hear, but I just remember it definitely being Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what the cool thing about I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go.
But Faith in Exile actually found a song while I was watching part of the stream last night.
Yeah, Dave's weird.
And no joke, I actually found the song that used to play in my high school weight room, and I'm like, I want to know what the song. I want to know what my fucking song is.
It was them.
It was Last Serenade that they did by Killswitch Engage. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
holy
okay.
shit! Like, boom! Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god! I finally found that song. I'm like, perfect.
That's
I'm like,
nuts.
They killed it too. They're fucking awesome. I love
That's
that band.
nuts. I remember Faith in Exile from when I was like I was a kid. Like literally, I was a kid. So
My first. No, I'm the same age as them for the most part.
can I? What age are you? And I'll tell you why I'm asking.
Okay.
Because I was listening to
This
your.
came up last night too.
I was listening. No, I know. I was
Yeah.
listening to your episode with Timmy, but while we were on the way, my wife wanted to listen to the one with Eddie and Eddie's dad.
That was awesome too.
The Eddie Collins Jr. and Eddie Collins III.
Yeah. EC3.
EC3.
Wrestling reference.
And she was like looking for that while we were driving, and then you were Tim had said something like, I'm a little older than those guys, I believe referring to either Look Alive or Montongo.
Yep.
And then you're like, I'm 30, and then she fucking found it and hit it, and I'm like, no!
32.
32, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
33 this year.
let's go around the horn then too. Take a while. Guess how old I am.
Okay.
Since you know he's 32.
He's 32. I'm going to say that you're also 32.
No, a little over. Okay, I feel a little bit ashamed.
What are you?
30.
Oh,
Gonna
30.
be turning 31 in about 2
All right,
months.
so
A
I always
long
do this.
month.
I always do this to Ben only because I get it all the time. Like, oh, you look like a celebrity. All right, so shave off all his facial hair and just keep the mustache.
Oh no, we're
Freddie-
not fucking
Freddie-
playing
Freddie-
that game.
Freddie Mercury's.
No, we're not
who's
playing-
in love
no,
with
no, no,
Freddie
no,
in
no.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
No,
I never
literally-
watched Bohemian Rhapsody.
Literally, no.
You do.
Literally,
I'll
no.
pull it up.
Pull up
Yeah,
the
fuck
actor.
it. Yeah, if I had a fucking bowl haircut, the fuck. Oh my god.
Oh my, you are very upset about this.
I am upset. It's like typically if I would pick out somebody, Mark Wahlberg,
I get.
but gained a few
yeah.
pounds. All right. I'm fair with my predictions or
I get. See, here's the.
You
I get
look
all.
like-
I get all actors who have beady eyes and a pug nose. So from here up, I get Mark Wahlberg or any of the Wahlbergs. I get Nick Jonas, and I used to get the lead singer of Simple Plan.
Oh shit, I see it.
And then when I used to shave my head, I used to get Sid from Toy Story. And
I
then,
don't see that.
and then I used to get 2D from Gorillaz, the cartoon lead singer. Yeah.
You know who you look like? 2D from the Gorillaz. That's a fucked up statement to say.
And when someone said it, I'm a huge Gorillaz fan. I was like, I'm cool with it.
Growing up, I was thinner. When I was like super young, I was thinner.
Same here.
Seriously,
Same
looking at
I'm the
looking
fat
at like
Mark Wahlberg. I'm the School County version.
looking at like young pictures of me, I'm like, what did you do? The fact that you discovered cake was a mistake.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I used to being black sucks sometimes because you don't get a real like you look like this guy. I literally just get you look like insert miscellaneous black actor.
Yeah.
And now that I'm like this age, I just get insert miscellaneous fat black actor. So someone like literally was like, "You look like Ron Funches." I'm like, I look nothing like Ron Funches
Ron
except that
definitely
I'm fat.
not. I know Ron
Comedian,
He's a
named Ron
comedian,
Funches.
yeah.
You pull that up, I'm gonna pull up Ron Funches.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't look anything like Ron Funches except that he also is, or at that time was overweight. He decided to fix himself. I'm like, I'm still thinking.
I don't know. It's an uphill battle.
Jury's still out on this one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna work on myself.
It's
just
like that.
yet.
It's like that. I'm a huge Malcolm Moore fan. So like that one Malcolm Moore song is called "Let's Eat," and he's talking about I'm going to the weight room on Monday. And then he's like, but tonight I'm gonna fucking eat. I'm gonna eat like crap, and then I'm gonna start tomorrow on Monday. And then you get there, you're like, and I feel like wake up and I feel like shit, and I'll just say I'll start tomorrow instead, and you just keep pushing it back.
It's easy when he's a fucking skinny. Fuck that guy. This is Ron Funches.
No, I don't see it.
Not one bit.
You know what? Another one
I like
I would
Ron
say that
Funches.
people would
I love
probably
it.
say for you, but I don't see it either.
What?
Who's the other dude? Only because he's black and has glasses and he's super popular right now.
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress. I mean,
Whack,
he's
whack.
black. He does have glasses.
Yeah. He's fucking hilarious.
He's so fun, and he's so like he's the reason that all of the Bill Cosby stuff fell down on Bill Cosby.
really.
Yeah,
At a
that
random
was-
show, at a show he
Mhm.
was doing, at a comedy show he was doing, he called
Yeah, the fucking bowl haircut. Fuck you, Tony.
Yeah, your
Fuck
hair
you,
does
man.
need to change, but I mean, if you had that haircut, I gotta say, yeah. I'm sorry.
Son
Freddie,
of a
Freddie, I
bitch.
love you,
Never
Freddie.
will never happen. Ever.
Look, Halloween.
Ever.
Man, don't say never. But
No, it will never happen.
But oh my god, no!
God
he was
damn
at
it.
he was at a comedy show and he like called Bill Cosby
Oh,
a
cool.
rapist and then like said like Bill Cosby has raped women. He's done this, that, and the other thing. And then
It blew up.
it blew up and Bill Cosby was everything went down for him.
Yeah, the accountability was just like.
So someone
Yo,
did say,
Bill.
"I'm glad I watched episodes when they were on a weekly basis because I was able to process it." And then, so someone does agree.
Oh well, fuck you! I don't know who you think you are, contradicting me in the comments, you son of a bitch. I'm fucking coming.
See the salty vigorousness of that voice. You're just
Yeah.
like,
Hannibal Buress was at a wrestling show one week, and he
appreciate you listening.
It doesn't work the same way the other way.
yeah, it's not.
He'd be like,
All right, blueberry bear.
blueberry.
Hannibal Buress was where?
He was at a wrestling show.
Hang on.
I don't have nails. I bite them.
Yeah, I cut mine then too.
But he was at a wrestling show and like it jumped on through the table and he was like, "Don't lay there, bro. It's not gonna feel like." He was just like over commentating, but it was really funny.
I think he's one of the fun. I once again
Guys
Eddie
go around.
Collins, one of my best friends in the world. We went to see Hannibal Buress and Aziz Ansari at the same show.
Oh
in
my god, that had to be
Scranton.
awesome.
That was so funny.
So this is a sour. All right. So this is gonna have a little bit of a different taste, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Look at you going for it.
I don't fuck around. Okay.
Take a whiff. Take a whiff.
I do apologize.
No,
we
yeah,
talked
no,
about the
the
podcast
guys.
for like 13 seconds, and then went on. We go on like with these weird tangents. These weird.
circle back
um,
after we're done fixing police brutality, income inequality, and the gender pay gap. We will then circle back to talking about this podcast after we have fixed all of the nation's problems. This smells good.
So this beer won best beer for School County Brew Fest this year in downtown Pottsville.
Okay.
Now,
Where in? So was that like? Did that take place over like a bunch of bars, or was it like
it was
like
on Center Street?
Center
or?
Street, Pottsville.
they
yeah.
shut down from the Greystone to where the bank used to be.
So it was like the Mayfair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, it was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that I grew up here, so I can I still get the landmarks. I wasn't there, but I know what the fuck you're talking about.
So let's do it. We're gonna have a really cool tie-in here. So you used
Before
to be.
we get into that,
Yeah.
we didn't know how old you are.
I am shit, hang on. I literally, not gonna lie, this sounds crazy. I rarely remember how old I am. I usually need my wife to be here to tell me how old I am.
Are you like a hippie type?
No,
Or
no, I just-
like I have no way.
I'm just an
roll with
idiot who can't do math in my head like that. But I will turn 28 in I don't know when this is gonna air.
If you're already
10
losing your
days.
age at 28, that's not good.
What?
If you're already not remembering your age and it's only 28.
I haven't remembered my age for most of my
Wow,
20s.
man.
So, but you
Once
know,
I hit 21, I feel like it's like, okay, 21. And then like I hit 30 and that was kind of a big deal. I was like, oh, now I'm to dirty 30.
dirty 30.
Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna turn 28 on the 17th of July.
Awesome.
Okay.
So
alright.
I'll be 28 then. And hopefully for my birthday, for my 30th birthday, I'm planning it now. I really want to have a roast of myself.
That'd be awesome.
It's gonna be so fun.
Invite us.
Just for the sheer fact that I love people sitting around and talking about me. So it's gonna be great when it's my wife's like, you're not gonna handle this well. It's like, because she's like, they're gonna make fun of you. You're gonna stop it after 6 minutes because you're gonna be like, you're really mean to me.
You're gonna
I'm
be
like-
that Peter Griffin Family Guy episode where they actually is like, I want to have a roast, and then like all of a sudden,
That
like
was
it
American
just
Dad, wasn't it?
no, it was Family Guy.
Really?
Yeah, it was Family Guy.
Same show.
Yeah, but seriously though, they actually had like a roast episode where like Peter Griffin
like
was
that.
getting like
I like
railed.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. No, I don't.
Oh,
The sour hit it.
Part 2. I like part 1 a lot. Part 2 was not my favorite.
The sour hit you.
I didn't like the sequel. No, there was also an American Dad episode where Roger wanted. I hate that I fucking know all of it.
No, it's okay.
Roger really wanted
We're
to.
bouncing off of each other.
Roger wanted to roast. Everyone. He had those dumb sunglasses that he was wearing throughout the whole thing. They had the roast for him. He cried. Said everyone was really mean, and then tried to have them all murdered, and then tried to kill all of them. So there was that as well. You're right. It's the same show.
Wow.
Well, no, that's not, one of them's better. I think American Dad's better.
Really? Oh my god.
I never got into American Dad.
Really?
No, you really should get into American
I don't like
Dad.
it. I didn't like it. I didn't get into it.
Give it another shot.
You know what cartoon I really like?
What?
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers is perfect.
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers is perfect. H. John Benjamin is so fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
And like I watch Bob's Burgers and I watch Archer. And
I started watching Archer. It was all right. It was cool.
I think Archer like gets better as it goes on.
Yeah.
But his voice as both of them is
Family Guy lost me.
Family Guy's not funny.
American
They
Dad.
were way back in the day, and then like
It just
for
kinda,
me, like the street, if there was one like Street Fighter like reference that they got there.
Mhm.
It was because of Mr. Washy Washy and Peter Griffin, because like Peter Griffin's like, you don't have my shirts done, and then like they did like the whole Street Fighter gag, and then like everything after that was just like,
I feel like it got stale.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I get
100%.
it.
Once I was like, holy shit, South Park's hit me with current topical things every single week. What the fuck is Family Guy doing for me? Like,
Can I give an unpopular opinion?
too.
I think South Park is horrible.
Really?
I hate it.
I think it's funny because everyone gets it.
I'm like, I watch it and I'm like, none of these jokes are landing for me. Except there's literally one, me and Eddie laugh about this all the time, the Hardly Boys.
Oh,
the guy who's got a clue and is gonna shoot clue goo all over. That part, I think me and him, I laugh at that. But overall,
and then the other cartoon that I watched recently, there's two of them that I watch on Netflix that I think are amazing. I love Big Mouth.
And BoJack Horseman.
Nope.
What?
F is for Family.
Really?
I love F is for Family.
I didn't watch F is for Family because I'm like, oh, I got BoJack Horseman.
Yeah.
Have you watched BoJack Horseman?
I have not.
Okay.
So F is for Family, I like because Bill Burr's my favorite.
I was gonna say it's Bill Burr, right?
Yeah, I love
Did he
Bill
create
Burr.
it or is he the main character?
He's the main character and he created
Okay.
it. Yep. It's hilarious. It's like it's literally like growing up in an Irish household. You keep that shit up, put you through a fucking wall. Like
I seriously.
But his dad talks so much shit, but he'll never hit his kids.
BoJack Horseman is really good. It is. I'm surprised at how, not only is it really funny, but then it gets really dark. I don't know if you've read anything about it.
Mm.
It gets really dark. It gets really serious, and there are times where you're like, "Holy shit, what the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
And then you have to remember, I'm watching a show about a horse, right?
Yeah.
Like it's rough, it's difficult.
Really?
I suggest reading like reviews of it. It gets so
that's
dark.
what Rick and Morty did to me too. So like I watched Rick and Morty and I was like, holy fuck, they're talking about some shit. Like for someone who struggles like with depression, anxiety, and suicide, like on a daily basis, and then I watch Rick and Morty, I'm like, holy fuck.
The episode
and then someone's like, did you watch Rick and Morty? How about that fart joke? I was like,
what about the time where he tried to kill himself?
You missed all of it.
Like, did you see like when the episode with Unity? Played by I believe Christina Hendricks.
You are absolutely correct.
Where at the end of she's a hive mind.
Yeah, and it's like a whole.
I only watched like season 1 or 2.
Okay, it was in.
Over the world.
I think it was in 2, but I don't want to. If you didn't watch it, I'm not gonna give it away. But it gets dark at like the very end, straight dark.
Like I think the last episode I watched was the Lubba Dub Dub episode.
Okay,
where he's like, and then the guy's like,
that's one. That's the end of season.
He's like,
one.
do you know what that means? And he's like, no. He goes, that means he literally wants to die.
Yeah, that's the end of season 1.
And Morty's like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, he drinks because he wants to kill himself.
Bird person.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, awesome. Yeah.
No, that's the end of season 1. So I'm not gonna spoil it.
So that's like that's what kind of was all. I loved Rick and Morty, but it also ruined it for me because the fans were just like they only latched on to like the fart jokes.
The fans of stuff make me lose my fucking mind. And I'm gonna pivot back to politics for like 1 second. Like I hate like the fervent supporters of Bernie Sanders in the 2016 election made me want to pull my fucking hair out. I'm like, guys, could you chill the fuck out for like 1 second, please. I couldn't deal with it. I also sometimes with Hillary supporters, I'm like, guys, fucking, I'm gonna lose my mind on all of you.
It was really funny to watch them cry. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god, it was. I was not happy because on election day in 2016, or yeah, I will admit, I got wine drunk because I literally was like, I was like,
You were
I was
else.
the Hillary campaign.
Yeah.
I already planned the parade. I had the fucking fireworks paid for. Like, we're done. I literally was. I'm like, there's no way we're gonna lose this. And my liberal friends were texting me like worried. Like I remember my one friend Arista like texted me. He's like, "Hey, things aren't looking so great right now. Should we be worried?" And I'm like, "Listen, don't worry about it. Kenya, we fucking got this. We lost all of those states." I'm like, oh no.
My favorite thing ever with that
Man.
election night was the Saturday Night Live skit with Dave Chappelle. You ever watch that one?
Mhm.
Or he's just like, yeah, you're fucked. Like,
Yep.
it was literally like two high school bullies, and Trump was like, every time politics came up, like Hillary's like, what do you think about politics? He's like, Benghazi, and they're like, yeah, Hillary, what about? And then she's like, well, how would you handle this situation? Deleted emails, and it was like, she's fucked.
I think that's 100% like one of my problems with the election in 2016 was this weird media double standard where Hillary had to let's put all our cards on the table. I voted for Hillary Clinton. She did not come off as a authentic person.
No,
She didn't come off as a human being.
she
She
came
came
off
off like
the principal of your high school who wants to suspend you, but she's smiling in your face.
she literally to me
Hey
was like
kids, what's up?
she was like Mitt Romney in 2012, where I'm like, are we running against a fucking robot today?
Yeah.
What's happening? Like, I literally was like, I understand where people were like, and I listened to like Pod Save America with someone, John Lovett, who worked on Hillary's campaign back in the day and like knows Hillary Clinton like personally and was like, she is an authentic person. She can laugh, she can joke, she eats food. Like, she is a real person. She just did not come off as that at all. And then when we ran with her, I'm like, she's not coming off like a real person, but the other person is a straight up moron / monster.
But the country wanted that.
The country was like, this is what we need. We need this guy who's gonna say whatever he's thinking at the time. It's like
monster, damn it.
it's like, but he doesn't.
He's gonna hate this reference, but Joe Rogan said it the best. He goes, we were in a long-term relationship with a really conservative girl who was really polite. You could take to your mom. And now we want a whore.
Oh my god!
He's like, we had Obama. He was really passive. He was a really nice girl.
Yeah.
Kind of boring. And,
Whoa!
And you kind of break up. Like, he was just, I don't know. He was just like, you break up.
He was too cool.
Yeah.
He was too like chilled out about stuff.
He was like the way he described, like, oh, you want to go out to eat? Oh, hi, you can go out where you want to eat. Like, and then it's like, and then you break up and you're like, all right, I want a girl who's gonna fist fight me every weekend. I want to run red lights while I'm getting my dick sucked. Like, and he goes, and that's Trump. Trump is the orange convertible with the big tits, and that's what our country wanted right now.
I think that he needs to be in some meetings where they talk about strategy and planning and marketing.
He literally played straight into the right crowd.
He did, and he never was ashamed of doing it.
No.
I will say, I do think that, and I was a part of. I was on the Democratic side. I still am.
Mm-hmm.
We were beaten by quite possibly the dumbest person in the history of time. He so clearly bested us in every way, shape, or form because we were like, oh, we have to run like normal people run, right? We have to be.
He ran like a WWE match.
He literally was a show. He was PT fucking Barnum.
Yeah.
Like we ran fucking a robot, essentially like the robot that they have at Giant that cleans up after shit and helps you out.
Once he busted those hats out, you were fucked.
Yeah.
You had nothing to latch onto.
I said this all the time. We lost to a fucking hat.
Yeah.
Like we're like, well, I have a 40-point plan to do, and he's like,
I have a hat.
I have a hat. It's red. Get in here.
Yeah.
Like,
and he didn't put any thought into the hat because in his head he was like, I don't think his hat is derived from what everyone made it out to be, and I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not a Trump supporter, but like I don't think his hat.
Come on,
I'm not.
We know you have a Trump tattoo. Get out of here.
Sorry. No, no, but like his, I just think he literally thought, what's the most coolest positive thing we could put in a hat? And then like the other side was like, fuck, we don't have a hat. How can we break that hat down? And it just made the hat more popular.
I think that overall I think people were he tapped into like this. He tapped into a couple of different groups. People who didn't feel like
NASCAR, WWE.
NASCAR,
Old white people
WWE,
born in the 60s.
AARP members.
And racist. Let's just put it out
And
there.
anyone who has worn a Klan robe just cause.
Yeah. Anyone? Why didn't you like Obama? I didn't like his politics. Wink. We know what you mean. Come on over.
But it's literally like I watched that election and I'm like, all right, there are a couple things that could have made this better. One, James Comey probably shouldn't have released a fucking thing saying we're still investigating Hillary Clinton for blah blah blah, and then go, oh, and actually we found nothing. Two, maybe Hillary Clinton should have remembered that Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania were fucking states and visit them once in a while. Literally, she lost those states because she didn't visit, and I thought that was crazy.
You know what's crazy too, and it doesn't sound like a huge thing, but I don't think
this is good. By the way,
I told you
this is good. You have picked out wonderful choices for me. I really appreciate that. Like, these are fantastic. I do not drink beer, and I'm having a beautiful time with this.
I have more of this. I can send you home one.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So if you're listening to Tattered Flag and Killaroo, he's a fan.
Are you singing
Queen.
Queen
Yeah.
to your boyfriend's music?
I actually dressed up
The
as
reason-
Freddie Mercury the one year.
He said it, not me. He's really upset that we say he looks like the friend of Freddie Mercury because he dressed
Oh, the
up as
friend. I thought it was the boyfriend. I did not watch the movie.
It was the friend, boyfriend, manager who was in love with Freddie, but Freddie was too busy banging everybody else. He wasn't tying himself down.
Right.
But he wants.
Well, he's Freddie Mercury.
He wants to be Freddie.
Wait.
He dressed up as Freddie for Halloween, and
That's dope.
Yeah, I'll show you.
here it comes.
Can I? Okay, you do that. I'll tell you who I dressed up for Halloween. I don't know if you guys are.
I dressed up as Stitch. I'll just nail it.
From Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Because Heidi is brown and she fit Lilo.
Because Heidi is brown.
No, not only that is
No
Those
question.
are all the beers that I tried out.
when I first, before I met Heidi, I was a different human. I me and Heidi have been together going on 12 years now.
Oh, that's awesome.
We were together 8 before we got married, and we told people we're not getting married until everyone's allowed to be married. So when they announced the gay marriage, we're like, we're doing it.
That was fucking dope. I love that.
It was awesome until he sang all night.
Oh, cut it the fuck out.
So actually, for that party, we
Bicycle. Sorry.
yeah, that party we actually dressed up as Locke. I forget all their names now.
All the kids from
The trick or treaters from
Nightmare
Nightmare
Before
for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I was the fat one,
That was
the
pretty
skeleton.
cool.
Heidi was the witch, and my friend Nikolai was the devil kid.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's what we
And
did.
then one guy was a cowboy, and it was the Brokeback Mountain team for beer pong. We did like a
Oh yeah,
huge
he
thing.
teamed up with a cowboy, so it was easier that way.
No, that's fair. I tried to have a beer Olympics at my house once, and I had Bob Ellis. He was on my team.
Why does that sound so
He's Beelzebub in the Screaming Demons. I don't know if you went to they had like a barn show at Timmy's Barn.
I had to
so
go
you
to
might
one.
have mentioned that.
Yeah.
I played there once. Me and Eddie did. It's
Yeah.
Hello Helicopter, a band that played one show and has not played again.
Eddie does it a lot. Like Eddie will let's do 2 shows, like with him and Steve Fulton and Dave Cantwell. They do.
Yeah, they did. They
Dookie.
were Dookie. They were great. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen
They did
that.
it 3 times.
You got that.
That's what let's do the pinky. The
That was
pinky
dope. That was really dope. But my Halloween costume, I had been so early before Halloween this past year. Like every year I was a pirate because I had a pirate costume and I didn't have money, so buying another costume was out of the question. But then my pirate costume was like destroyed, so I'm like, okay, I need to get a new one. And I got a very vague, like, I don't know. Okay, I don't know if you're interested, if you know Hamilton, the musical.
I do not.
Oh, you're missing the fuck
If
out.
Nikolai was here, he'd be so happy.
You're missing the fuck out. I'm obsessed with this musical. It is bananas how obsessed I am with this
There's only
musical.
one musical I like.
What's that?
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one. I respect that.
That's Tim Curry.
Yeah. He's in I think he was in an episode of Psych. He was a judge of their version of American Idol on Psych.
Yeah.
It was American Duo or whatever.
I love Tim Curry.
He's funny. I put on just a regular a vague revolutionary costume.
Mm-hmm.
So I said I was Abraham. Sorry, not Abraham Lincoln. He's not in this. But I said I was Hamilton, but truly I was more like George Washington. But I had this dope ass blue coat. I was like, this is the fucking. I'm like, this is the greatest. This is the greatest costume I've ever purchased.
My goal is to lose weight, get back down to looking good weight.
Yeah.
And I want to buy an Assassin's Creed outfit.
Oh shit! Which one?
Probably the only game that people don't like, but it's my favorite.
Which is that?
I like 3. I like Connor.
Okay.
I thought that was a cool. I liked American Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about that game is all about. And everyone's like, that's the worst one. And they remastered it, and I've been fucking playing the shit out of it.
See, I think with Assassin's Creed, you get this situation where the game may not be that cool, but the history point of it is cool. So it makes you forget about how the game actually is.
Yeah, it's my favorite game series, hands down.
Yeah?
Every time, actually, the slow second that's been creeping in, I play it, and then I play the next one, and then I wait really, really long, and then I play the next one after that. Mm-hmm. But I'm really obsessed with fucking not Call of Duty. Fuck Call of Duty.
Battlefield?
Nope. Tomb Raider.
No, sir. You could not have picked a more different game.
Tomb Raider.
Obsessed with Call of Duty. That's not it. What is it?
Yeah. Tomb Raider.
Madden NFL.
Now, what system do you play on?
I play mostly. I play Xbox.
Me too.
I have a PS4.
I don't use it.
I purchased it because I wanted to play MLB's The Show, and I have a tendency of getting something only for one thing and then not using that thing. But I also played the Spider-Man video game on there.
I didn't play that one yet.
You fucking need to.
Is it good?
It is bananas good.
I got to play it.
Though there's one thing that I think is really funny in there. So in there they're hang on, my Fitbit is a fucking magnet and it catches stuff. But they're okay, so you're Spider-Man, so your moves are non-lethal. You don't actually kill your enemy, you just knock out your enemy forever. But one of the things you can do is you can web up a motorcycle, swing it around, and throw it at someone. And then the motorcycle, when it hits them, explodes. I have a quick question. How the fuck is that non-lethal?
He's dead.
He 100%. Peter Parker murdered that person.
Can you
with a
throw
motorcycle.
them off the building?
I've thrown people off of buildings, and I'm like, how do they explain this? And then I saw a different angle where, as they're falling off the building, they web to the side of the building and then get tripped.
They don't.
But the thing is, you're this far away from a building. When you slam into that building, you're also going to die.
Yeah, because you're going about 138 miles an hour to 0.
With no padding between you and the building. I 100%. I love that game, but it does not explain out how you don't get straight up murdered.
We were talking about roasting earlier.
Oh, please.
And Brett said the Office roast where he was roasting all
Boom roasted.
Yeah, boom roasted. And he said Michael roasting on The Office. Stanley, you crush your wife during sex and your heart sucks. Boom roasted.
Your heart sucks. Boom roasted. That was amazing. By the way, does anyone? I'm gonna try. I've never had this before, but it's.
I'm completely crust hammy. Go a little bit.
It's Sauvignon Blanc.
Go light though.
You tell me when to stop.
Good.
All right.
Just enough for a mouthful. That's what she said.
It's not telling me this. I'm gonna stop because you didn't tell me to.
Brett, by the way, this beer from the Cake Stand has been featured more on this show than anything ever. The Hemtails. This is the really, really good one. This is the passion fruit.
I like that. I like that one a lot better.
Do you?
It's semi-dry.
Is it semi-dry?
It
This
seems
is
like
a
that,
delightful crisp.
Let me read. I'm gonna read.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Good.
All right. Okay.
It got gold 95 points. I don't know what that means, but that seems really good.
I'm assuming based on the gold, it's good. Barefoot Sauvignon Blanc is our driest white wine, bursting with fruit flavors of fresh pear and crisp citrus. Pack a picnic basket, find a sunny spot, and uncork. And then try to find your way back home.
All right, so pear and what?
Citrus?
My glass smells like blueberry still.
Oh my god, this is so good.
It is. I like it.
This is
At least
really
it has
good.
a little bit of that, like, always with those red wines, the Merlots.
How about their driest? That's not that dry.
It's not. It's the Merlot is
That's
fucking
pleasant.
drier.
That's pleasant.
Is it their driest white wine? Is that what it's saying? Oh, it's their driest white wine.
Okay.
There we go. I'm like,
No,
Too
I
pleasant
also
as
want
shit.
to share that I have blueberry, banana, hemp D, and and the Sauvignon
Sauvignon.
cream of Sauvignon guy in my cup.
Like, I'm not trying to pronounce your bullshit.
What would that be?
What?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc?
Yeah.
What does it translate to?
Yeah, or what like language?
Something white. It's French.
Is it French?
Mhm.
Okay.
I think. I don't fucking know. Not a second. I might have.
It sounds French.
It is.
It's probably like Italian, and I'm like disgracing my heritage. You like our candles today? I don't know if people can see them in the background. They're hard to see. We have the Golden Girls
Thank
candles.
you for being a friend.
Thank you. I could not remember what.
I bought those. I bought
I'm
those
that
for
guy.
Heidi for Christmas. So I believe if I don't know my religious figures, but I believe the oldest lady is what's her name?
Betty White?
No, the oldest, the mother of the show.
Estelle Getty.
I know Betty White and B. Arthur. I don't know the
Is
rest.
that Blanche?
Oh,
No,
you're looking for the
Blanche
names
is
of the
on
characters.
on the far right.
All right, so Blanche, I believe that is one of the saints.
Okay.
The next one over, I believe, is supposed to be Jesus.
Okay, that's Estelle Getty.
Yeah, I think.
B.
and then-
Arthur.
And I
is-
believe what's her name is Mary. Maybe what's her name is Mary in the middle with the heart. I could be wrong. I don't know my religious.
It's okay. Don't attempt.
So if you want to buy those candles, you can get them on a website or you can get them on Amazon. And the company who makes them is called Pen 15, which is pretty much penis.
Yep, it's not pretty much. It's 100%.
It's penis, and they make everything. So you could buy like a Freddie Mercury for you, Ben, because you're obsessed with Freddie Mercury.
Penis
candle.
makes everything for sure.
Yeah, you can get like all the Game of Thrones. You can get Freddie Mercury. You can get pretty much every pop culture figure, but then you can get all the Golden Girls.
Did either of you see Far From Home Spider-Man yet?
Not Far From Home.
No.
Okay, well,
I just
I won't say
watched.
that.
I just watched Into the Spider-Verse.
Ooh, I fucking love that. John
They actually have
Mulaney
a.
as Spider-Pig is so funny.
They have that
Which
on
one's Sean Mulaney?
Netflix now.
They do have it on Netflix.
Yeah.
John Mulaney's a comedian. He played Spider-Pig in that. He's a stand-up
Wow.
comedian.
The guy who did the voice for the main Spider-Man, who was from New Girl,
Mhm.
did a really good job.
That's Jake Johnson, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's Jake Johnson.
might-
I'm showing
Heidi's obsessed with New Girl.
just a huge amount of just straight nerdity that is nonsensical. I don't watch New Girl. Why the fuck do I know his name?
It's a decent show. It's not horrible.
I can't get past Zooey Deschanel's quirkiness. Quirkiness. I can't get past it. It's hard for me.
So most times when Heidi like picks a show, she's like, "I'm gonna start watching this show. Do you want to watch it with me?" And I watch one episode. I go, "No, I'm good."
What shows have she tried to get you to watch?
So she tried New Girl. I didn't really get into it. I thought it was okay. Like I enjoyed it, but it wasn't horrible. She
Do
tried.
you feel like if you actually
She tried Ugly Betty. No,
That's with America Ferrera,
I
right?
don't know. Wasn't into it.
Okay.
I guess the one girl from her job said she looked like her, so she started watching it.
Mm.
Heidi gets mistaken for Hispanic all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun game we play. Like, guess Heidi's race. You've seen her. What's her race? We already eliminated Hispanic. That's the go-to.
I don't know.
Oh, you already know because we made a bunch of jokes.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
you know she's
we
Asian.
well, wait, we you
I
did.
made, yeah.
You did. Let me just make it clear.
Yeah.
I didn't make any fucking jokes at all.
She's
I
Asian. So Heidi's Vietnamese.
Okay.
Yeah. The only Asian culture does not have a form of martial arts. Fun fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
They are slacking. I don't know.
But they're all amazing at
Whatever.
at doing nails. Like that Vietnamese people are amazing.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just be the one who's like, not all of everyone does anything.
Hey, I just want to bring this up. So, if you're saying that they don't have a martial art,
They don't.
thinking, like legally martial and their art is the fingernails. because that's legal.
All right, you nailed it, Ben. Good for you.
You got that. Can I have another? Can I have a little bit more of that?
Which one?
This one that you're pouring. Is there more of anything else?
This is gone. This is a little bit left.
Can I have some more of this?
Well, try this one first.
Okay.
That's
Wait, I didn't try this one yet?
No. This
Oh!
You did not. That's a fresh can that we opened up.
This one.
I'm not smart, guys.
If you were a fan of this one, I think you're really gonna like this one because this
Okay.
one actually has a flavor to it.
Can I say, first of all, wow, this smells exactly like I am about to. Let me tell you an edible story. So, my friend. Okay, let me just in case that like this gets huge.
In case we
Hi,
blow
this
up
is-
one day.
In case this whole thing blows up and my podcast also does well, hypothetically, a friend of mine came over with edibles. Hypothetically, and
I can't handle that stuff. I freak out.
I had my first incident with edibles was we went to her place, and she's like, "Okay, are you gonna have one?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Okay, have one, and then we'll see where we're at." And I'm like, "That's a great idea. I will eat 3 of them." And I had there. She's like, "Do not have 3. You will lose your mind. Just have 1, maybe 2, and just then we'll
Let
see
it
where
ride
we're
out."
at from there." And I'm like, "That's some sage advice. I agree. I'm gonna have 3 of them and see what goes on." So I had 3.
And what episode was this?
I literally was in her apartment, sitting against the corner of the wall, holding. You've seen most of the MCU movies, so you remember the movie where I believe it's Winter Soldier, where you didn't see Winter Soldier?
Started it and stopped it.
What the fuck are you doing?
Sounds dope.
We're gonna circle back to how you fucked up,
Good movie overall.
but so I'm assuming you've then seen the still of Chris Evans holding the helicopter.
Yes.
Okay. I was holding on to a wall as hard as I possibly could, and someone's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just trying not to float away." I was losing my mind. So she was moving. So she's like, let's hang out. I have edibles. Let's do that hypothetically. And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do that." She's like, "Go ahead and have 2." And I'm like, "Okay." And I had 2. And when they actually started hitting me, I couldn't move. I couldn't think. At one point I was lying down like in the fetal position one way. And I'm like, "Guys, I can't turn around because I don't think it's going to be there when I turn around." I'm like, I literally can't look behind me
Yeah.
because I don't know if behind me exists.
Mhm.
It was a bad day.
Yeah.
I'm not good with that.
I'm like, when it comes to anything that destroys your mind, even like alcohol, I don't really get, like, I get drunk, but it takes a while, but like I always have an internal struggle in my brain.
Mhm.
So like one time I tried marijuana when I was very young, and it had other stuff in it, we'll say
Oh no.
PCP,
Yikes!
and I wasn't aware of it.
Wait, hang on. This is like allegedly.
No, it happened, I don't care. And I didn't have a good time, but in my brain the whole time. Now also you have to realize I'm at the age where like the height of my like pubescent, am I saying that right?
Pubescent. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Like
You're
going
right.
through puberty.
Yeah.
Right. So like the height of my anxiety, depression, and suicide is probably most apparent. And then you mix drugs and PCP with it. So the entire time I'm sitting there, I just have like the worst thoughts going through my brain, and then I have like the inner Kevin Conroy in my head going, "You need to fight through this." like, like you know what I mean? Like,
The voice!
yeah, like the Batman in my head's like, "You're gonna be fine. Scarecrow's toxin. You're gonna get through fine. You can do it. Just keep fighting." You know what I mean? Like, so every time I get any type of drug in me, one half of my brain is like, "We're gonna fucking die, man," and the other half is like,
Oh no!
and the other half is like, "You're gonna be okay. Just fight through this."
Be
You know what I mean?
diligent.
Like
This is fantastic.
I told you this is awesome. So yeah, I always have that.
Hemptails aren't fucking around.
Yeah.
These are great.
Yes,
These are
it's a different type of drunk too.
to me, these taste like when I don't have to interact with my dad.
Yeah.
They taste exactly like that. They taste.
There's more in there too.
Oh my god.
These are my favorite. I really like
They're
M&Ms.
really, really fucking good.
And they get horrible reviews. I think they're
Really?
Yeah, they're great.
I love them. Maybe that's why people. Maybe they're not. Sorry. Maybe they're not good, and I love them, and that's why people are like,
I think they're very tasty, and they're 8% alcohol.
I could see myself getting straight up destroyed.
Yeah, this is my favorite one, the passion fruit.
They're really
That's a good one. You don't even taste the passion fruit in that either.
So
we have a huge argument where I'm like,
you don't like
I
passion
fucking
fruit.
hate passion fruit. It
I
just
don't
like overwhelms everything that you establish in the beer.
Can I tell you guys part of the reason I'm fat? Let me tell you part of the reason I'm fat. Because I'm allergic to healthy foods, right?
Okay.
Like, one of my favorite foods that I love to eat is it's broccoli. I love broccoli. The problem is, when I eat things like broccoli, and this is really fucking annoying, when I eat broccoli, when I eat most fruits like apples, so not usually grapes, but like other, my mouth just gets really itchy. So it's like
Well, you've
I
had
can't.
blueberries, banana, and passion fruit. You're
I'm
gonna be okay.
Doing good right now.
All right.
Doing good right
You should
now.
have had a disclaimer
But
before
what
we started. Do you have any
No.
allergies?
Oh,
I know exactly what you mean.
No, don't worry. I brought my inhaler. So.
Okay.
Also, if I die on air, post it.
Okay.
don't not post it.
You're like, I am okay with this. But no, seriously, I know exactly what you mean because I actually kind of get the same way with like eating like bananas and like all different fruits. It's because there's like pollen content on the actual fruits on their own, believe it or not. So
I believe it.
Is it like mild or
even if they have a
or is it mild or is it just like holy fuck I can't fucking
It's not.
take it.
It's not like I can do it. It's just extremely uncomfortable.
If you blow through a few bananas or whatever, you'll be okay.
Eat them, don't blow them.
Oh well, hang on.
Oh, there you go.
Hang on.
See,
Don't you tell me what to do with bananas.
Just throwing them away.
Hey, Terrayne, why are there so many goddamn bananas in the trash?
I was playing Mario Kart. Don't worry about it.
Because I did what they needed me to do.
I heard this on Bangin Beers.
I'm building up the immunity for my banana allergy.
I'm just working on allergies, babe. Shut up.
Yeah. But where were we? I lost track.
Besides eating
doing
fruit,
drugs.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I've experienced that. I don't. It doesn't work for me. So I just try not. So I don't do any of them. I do take CBD though. CBD has been very, very helpful.
Isn't that calming?
Very calming.
Okay.
It helps with joint pain. So
Okay.
like I was diagnosed as well. I tell every story, so I don't want to get too much into it. But I was diagnosed with a joint disorder. So I have like super hypermobility in my joints, and it's like not just my joints, everything that moves. Like
He's an elastic man.
pretty much. So like last night we're all hanging out watching the band, and I kept sitting down, and people were like, "Why are you sitting down?" I said, because my body, if I sit too long, like your joints hold your everything in place, and what mine do is they get super lax and like this, and then it's just like I don't know, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So like standing too long, sitting too long, everything, and just like by the end of the day, I'm just like I'm in so much pain.
Right.
Sleep, I'm in so much pain. I get about an hour and a half every night, so it's just horrible.
Yeah.
But CBD has been very, very, very helpful.
That's
with that.
good.
Yeah.
It's good that it's always good like to have something that's helpful and that works. And it's annoying that it's hurdles to have to be able to get the thing that works when we keep prescribing things that are straight up killing people.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Every time I go to the doctors, they're like, "Cool, we'll put you on Percocet."
It's like,
Oxycontin,"
please don't.
And I'm like, I don't want any of that. And they're like,
Please
well,
don't.
you're not fucking getting anything else. I was like, I don't care. I'd rather like. So I just stopped going to doctors.
I very much like the idea that your doctor's like, you're not fucking getting it. I was like, whoa.
Well, no, because
My doctor's really
Like,
vulgar.
I had a doctor pretty much. I think because of the time I went, it was like the height of the like my mental breakdown when I was just like, man, dude, I feel like less of a person. I'm always in pain. I can't physically go to work anymore.
Yeah.
Like it was like my job thinks I'm bullshitting them because I have a disorder where I don't physically look like I'm in
Right.
pain. And it was just like, and it was a job that I worked really, really hard to move up in. And every time I try to move up, this would come in, and then I would work really hard. Like I don't like. I'm a smart dude, I guess you would say. Like I can use my brain, but I was always like, because all I grew up was the factory, so I'm like, I'm gonna physically work as hard as I can,
Yeah.
and no one will out physically like be more physical than me.
Right.
And then like 3 hours into the shift, I'm like, I fucking shouldn't have not done that. Like I can't move, and now they're expecting me to finish this, and I'm like now I'm having an anxiety attack. The depression's kicking in, and then I'm like, you're not a fucking man. Men do work. Like you know what I mean? Like it just all this shit playing in your head. People say male toxicity is not a real thing, but I disagree.
Oh my goodness.
I disagree.
Oh my goodness, it absolutely is. It is. It's used as not only, and that's the thing. You have to look at it in like multiple aspects. It's not just.
That's why I think male suicide is super high.
Yeah, it's not just used as something to put down women and put down the trans community, but it's also used to like fuck with men.
Yeah.
To make men think. I don't know a thing about if I get a flat tire and I'm on the side of the road, if I don't have roadside assistance, I might as well just kill myself.
Yeah.
I can't do a thing about it. And if you look at it from like the scope that most of the time, like you're taught that if you don't know how to do that, you are nothing. You're not a man. You're not providing for your family. You're not like this and that. It's like, but gender roles are fluid. They should be, because things change. We don't live in this random nonsense society where men have to be the earners, the workers, there are female chores and male chores. It's like, no, we are in an age where, by the way, there's always been that age, but we haven't seen it that way. But we are in an age where we all do what we have to do to get by.
Yeah.
We do what we have to do to survive. By the way, can I say, I just remembered something. On the way here, I was listening to, I believe it was your episode with Tim, but it might have been your episode with Eddie, where you didn't know what Three's Company was?
I didn't.
You called it Three's a crowd?
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
What the
Oh, no.
I'm done.
It wasn't Three's Company.
I'm
It wasn't
done.
Three's Company.
I'm
Eddie's
done.
bands, Eddie's
Eddie Sad's
I
band is
gotta
called
pee anyway,
Three's
Bob.
a Crowd.
Three's a Crowd. And I confused it with the show.
But you called it a movie.
Did I?
Yes.
My bad.
I'm like, I literally was driving. You're like, you don't fucking know what Three's Company is?
I never watched
John
it.
Ritter?
I never watched
I
it.
think it was what?
I never watched
It was
it.
on Nick at Night,
I
dog.
know.
What do you mean?
Here's what Nick at Night for me was I Love Lucy, Honeymooners, Turn Off.
Really?
Yeah.
No Fresh Prince?
I watched French Prince in the morning. That was
Okay.
that was like a
That was when it was still Nick at Night at that time.
yeah. For me, it wasn't.
Really?
Fresh Prince wasn't. I'm 32 though, so I have a few more. Like so, Fresh Prince was still like in the morning when it was like Saved by the Bell, Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Okay.
That was like our morning shows.
That's dope. I think I remember.
Love Fresh Prince though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Did you see the new movie they're making?
No, what?
They're making like a more serious movie and it's the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
I don't want to watch that movie.
It looks crazy.
I don't want it to be more serious.
Yeah, it looks insane. I'm excited for it. But yeah, I never watched Three's Company.
Really?
Yeah, there was a few shows on there where like Nick at Night were like, oh, you should watch this, and I never Three's Company's one, the one with I only watched a couple episodes. The ones, and obviously the one I watched was the one that's the most talked about. What was the one with Gary Coleman?
Different Strokes.
Never watched that.
Really?
I never watched the one with Red Fox, and I wish I watched the one with Red Fox because then I grew up and I was like, he's one of my favorite comedians. And I never watched Laverne and Shirley or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Hated it. I did like Taxi though.
Okay.
It was a Taxi with DeVito.
Yeah.
And Andy Kaufman.
I don't know.
It was something. It was.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
Yeah, they were in a taxi. It was like a taxi type thing, and I loved Cheers.
Okay.
Yeah, I always liked Cheers.
With Ted Danson.
Yeah.
I
never watched
honestly-
Three's Company.
Here's how.
What's the one? I never liked Who's the Boss.
Who's the boss with Tony Danza?
Yeah, and there's two. There's two more. Never liked MASH,
Okay.
and I never liked the one with the racist white dad. And the mom who had the really annoying voice.
Married with Children?
No, I loved Married with Children. What's that?
The
show?
Nanny?
No, she was hot, but I couldn't do her voice. No,
I'm like, it sounds
or every right wing nut job.
All in the Family.
Yes.
Got it.
I never liked that show.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a dick. I don't want to watch the show. Yeah, never liked it.
Yeah.
Never liked it.
No,
You call me meathead. I'm gonna hit you in your sleep. I would have that dad. Me and that dad would have fight. Like, that's not my dad.
You in your sleep.
Yeah, that's not my dad. But I always grew up with like I grew up very angry and very violent and very like I swing first, ask questions later. So if I grew up with a dad who called me meathead and told me I was a piece of shit every day, like I'm like, I can't wait for the day I'm like 16, 17 and we're fighting.
Well, that wasn't the dad. It was the dad did it, but it wasn't that guy's dad. He was dating the daughter of that guy.
I would have fought him.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have beat his ass.
For sure.
Spoiler alert, like that's like my wife's father. Well, he's not in the picture anymore, but he was like that. And I was like, dude, the day you step, I will fuck you up. Like he's a piece of garbage. Like, yeah, like I don't know. If you just take every single second out of your day to break someone down and try to make them feel less of a human, to me, the way my personality was back in the day, I'm like, cool, I'll let you go for like a good solid 3 months. And if you keep it up, I'm gonna be like, hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you. If this keeps up,
we're gonna fight in the parking lot.
I'm gonna chop you in the throat. And then if you keep it up, I'm gonna disgrace you in front of your family. I'm not that person anymore.
Let me ask you some questions, just because I think I wanna try to gauge where you are in your podcast world.
Okay.
So
I like this.
Let's
turn
start,
the tables.
Let's start with this. You do the Tornado Tag Pod, right?
Yep.
So you do that on wrestling. Actually, I have a real quick question.
Thursday nights, 8 o'clock.
Thursday nights, 8 o'clock. What's that? Oh, that's your.
Tornado
That's when.
tag.
Okay.
And then Wednesday.
I'm like, is that what's?
Wednesday we do things that weren't cool in high school. That's our pop culture one.
Oh, okay.
Also 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I have a lot to talk about that one, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to blow through Stranger Things.
Okay.
I could not do it. I haven't tried.
I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't tried.
So you can't spoil anything.
I'm not. I'm just
fresh.
gonna tell you like
if you like
what's going on. Not really what's going on, but like
should they watch it?
It's good. Yes.
Current favorite wrestler right now. Who do we have?
Ooh,
okay. He doesn't watch much wrestling.
Okay.
I have.
You're off and on.
Yeah.
My favorite. I really like The Miz.
Mike The Miz Mizanin.
Yes.
Was a former Real World House member,
and I watched
then did the challenge.
Yep,
multiple seasons of the challenge.
I've been a fan of him since Real World.
Can I say I watch all of this? If you had a podcast on the challenge, let me know. I will be able to be here.
I don't know if I talked about it on Tim's later on or someone's episode. I was like, I wish I could go back and rewatch like just their World War season 1 on. I would watch them right now.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Another show that's really awesome. I don't know if you ever watched it, called The Bad Girls Club.
I've heard of it. I never watched it.
Fucking awesome. It's not. I don't think it's on TV anymore, but it was really good too.
The challenge is like the one like really. I like to cultivate shit that I watch where I'm like I want to be able to say I watch good things.
Yeah.
But then I watch the challenge.
Yeah, I watch shitty things every now and then.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's watch these people get drunk and fight and fucking this hot tub.
Yeah, I turn on Netflix. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna watch a brand new show, and I'm like, oh, there's a cool prison show on. And I watch
Here we go.
And I watch prison documentaries for 8 hours, even if I've already watched them.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
I love them. I don't know why. I will never be in prison, but if I did, I think I know the blueprint.
Do you have a favorite wrestler?
Do I have a favorite wrestler?
I have a bunch though. I'm like very.
Yeah, he's being very conservative on that sense.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad you mentioned The Miz though, because when I knew that was, I'm like, oh my god,
he's a great heel.
History.
He's so good on the mic.
Going kind of like brushing off of him, like heel mode, Miz. I would say he's very good on that. I like Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like he's. Yeah, I mean, but
I'm a gimmick guy.
What do you got? Yeah,
either I like like really really good bad guys, or I like shtick and I like gimmick.
Yeah.
So if because I grew up in the '80s where wrestling was either super racist,
80s, 90s, yeah,
like their gimmicks.
I mean, to be fair,
their
Vince
gimmicks.
McMahon has been operating for this entire time.
Like
he's been racist the whole time.
The gimmicks are either extremely inappropriate or they're fucking funny.
And fun fact: his wife lost a election to be I want to say senator of Connecticut
recently.
In the 2000s, Cindy McMahon.
I thought she was still. Isn't she part of the Trump administration right now?
Small business.
She is. Now she is. Now she is.
Yes.
But she ran previously and lost.
She did win though at one point in time, or she was because when she started running is when WWE went to PG. They got rid of the PG-13 and went to PG. because they didn't want them to throw the wrestling in her face.
They're gonna stop doing that, right? Like
I think they're going back to PG-13. Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to get the teens back.
Yep.
By being horrifying.
Yeah. And I'm a fan of that, but I'm not a fan. I think it's good. Like for this podcast.
Linda, did I say Cindy?
Lindy McMahon.
Linda.
Linda McMahon. So for me, on this podcast, yes, we do curse and we may say stuff that, but it's not thrown in your face every other sentence.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
No, that's fair. My problem is I get real drunk, and when I do my podcast, I always have to put on when I do it, when I post it, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely explicit.
Yeah.
I get drunk and I can't stop saying the F
Yes.
word because I say the F word to think of other stuff.
Yes, but I mean, it's not like excessive. It's not like every other sentence has it in.
You're not like the Analowskis.
Mine is. Oh, she
They
ran.
say every other word.
Yeah.
She ran in 2010. I don't believe. Maybe I don't believe she won. She lost then to Richard Blumenthal, and then she ran again in 2012 and lost to Chris Murphy.
How does Linda McMahon lose an election?
Because she's running in Connecticut as a Republican.
That's true. But yeah, so I'm always into the gimmicks and the shticks. So that's always been one of my favorite gimmicks of all time is Goldust.
I was gonna fucking mention Goldust.
I love Goldust.
Oh my god,
You've been
Goldust is
alright.
amazing.
You've been all right with it.
Yeah.
Literally, Goldust is like. Have you ever played Soul Calibur?
No, I'm not a fighting game.
Wait. Okay.
All right, you got him.
You got me. Go ahead.
Goldust is the Yoshimitsu of Soul Calibur,
I
where
feel
he's
what
just
was it?
weird. He moves around in a weird way.
You mean Baldo?
Baldo? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The one with all the blades. For
Yeah, like the.
he's just like, and then
it's
just
just
starts
a-
crawling around and shit.
And then it goes like
Right.
crawls like a spider.
Right,
Yeah,
but
Baldo.
with
That
Goldust,
creepy fuck.
he just blows dust in your eye like a psychopath,
I mean,
and then just beats the shit,
Well-
and then just beats the shit out of you.
well, Goldust was he was created to be a gay transgender character.
No, androgynistic character.
Yeah, he was androgynous,
They
right?
said
Androgynous.
androgynous because it was politically correct, but he
Yeah.
was 100% pushing the boundary of
Oh, of
I
course.
think he was non-binary.
because they would strip his clothes off and he'd be wearing women's lingerie.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
He almost,
All right, yeah.
fun fact about Goldust, he almost got a tit job to actually have women's breasts. And they asked him to do that, and he said he will not do it.
He's like, I'm good. I'm already weird.
I am so glad he did
I'm already
not
doing
agree to
weird
that.
stuff.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Um,
Fucking wow.
But and
Dog
then,
shit.
like people
Fuck.
used to chant really, really horrible things at him when he would wrestle.
I could imagine.
Yes.
I could imagine.
Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like another glass? No? Yes? Your call. All right.
All right.
Would you like another glass?
I'm good. I'm gonna finish this one off. I'm probably gonna pull another beer out of the fridge.
That's a good call.
That's
No,
that's
go-
my thing.
I literally was like, I was gonna mention
Like
Goldust
my-
after this.
This is not my like strict top 5, top 10, but like I'm a Shawn Michaels fan.
Yeah.
The
Heartbreak Kid,
the
right?
sexy boy. I always wanted to be the sexy boy. Never was a sexy boy.
Terrayne fucking knowing what's up.
Yeah.
My thing is I know like I have weird knowledge of dumb stuff that I
Yeah.
shouldn't remember,
Um,
but I do.
Ric Flair.
the Nature Boy.
Yeah.
He was out of Comic-Con.
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho was
I
cool.
love
as
him.
Chris
shit.
Jericho is probably my number 1 of all time right now.
Chris Jericho was cool
Because
as
he
shit.
just keeps reinventing himself. He's still wrestling.
Is he really?
He's in
Where?
he's in a brand new company that's starting called AEW.
Okay.
He's very good.
So pretty much AEW is just a cliff note because I hope people, if you're not into wrestling, I apologize. Go watch Tornado Tag Podcast Thursday nights at 8:00.
No.
Yeah.
Stick the fuck right in for this one. You're
um,
gonna start learning. You learned about police brutality earlier. You better fucking sit down.
we better learn what the lion tamer. The better sit the fuck down.
You don't sit the fuck down. I swear to God.
And guess what? If you don't know what the fucking lion tamer is, guess what?
I got one better.
If you don't come to this podcast, get the fucking knowledge of the Wrestling Foundation. I'm gonna fucking elbow drop you from the top rope.
And let me tell you something, brother.
I'm gonna give you
you a moonsault. It's gonna be fucking radical. And oh yeah,
He's never said radical ever.
I just go and watch a
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
So yeah, Monster Man's high on my list as well. Eddie Guerrero. I always like
gimmicky. They're very gimmicky.
I'm a gimmicky.
I loved Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
yeah,
I loved him.
Yeah,
I
like
loved when I loved wrestling before someone told
Mr.
me
Perfect.
before someone taught me that it was fake, and I'm like, what? Like I literally, oh my god, I didn't believe it when I was a kid. Someone's like, no, it's fake, and I'm like, what are you talking about? This is super fucking real. They actually don't like each other. But
See, that didn't turn me off.
my favorite thing was when like high flyers. I like people that were super athletic,
Oh
super
my God.
flexible.
You
So
would
I loved
Ricochet right now.
I loved Rey Mysterio. I loved the Hardy Boys. They were all of, like that shit was cool. Lita, I fucking loved those.
With the thong hanging out.
You know,
The
whatever.
the fucking whale
I mean,
tail
like
going
whatever.
on.
Like why I loved her. Why I loved her was not the
The
point.
whale tail, man. Holy
Honestly, like
fuck.
if that was the type of wrestling you enjoyed,
Can I have the rest of this?
Yes,
Is it
100%.
okay?
Fire away,
if
man.
you enjoyed wrestling now because of those styles, I think you should really dive back in because there's a lot of that now.
Oh,
Kofi
yeah.
Kingston does that.
He's a champion right now.
Is he?
He's the world.
What kind of champion?
He's the world champion.
Like
he's the main champion.
Well, I know they. Well, okay, and this is
So
my
there's
confusion.
two main world champions right now.
There's
one on Raw.
heavyweight, and then there's no. They
There's
stopped
two
doing that.
heavyweight champions. There's one on Raw and one on SmackDown.
Oh shit! They're still doing Raw versus SmackDown
Yes.
shit.
Well, they don't do verse. It's two different shows.
Right.
Yeah.
But Kofi is the face of the company right now.
Didn't they do like a fantasy draft with Raw
Yes.
and SmackDown?
So they do that every year, right after WrestleMania, where they do a fantasy draft.
That's cool as shit.
So they mix it up.
That's cool
So
as
now
shit.
the thing going on right now is called the
Chemtails.
Yes.
Your beer is the fucking shit. I love it.
So they do this thing now where it's called the Superstar. Like they do the shake up where they move people from show to show.
Yeah.
Now they have this new rule called the Wild Card rule, where 5 people from each show can show up on each other's shows.
What?
So you'll see matches that you normally don't see.
Hey, we can just show up whenever you want.
But it literally turned into whoever has a champion is going to be on both shows.
Okay.
But Kofi's like the main dude of the company right now.
That's dope. That's dope. Kofi seems fun to watch.
And not only that, it's been historically a thing in wrestling where not many black champions get a belt, and Kofi is riding it. And
Yeah.
he got it at WrestleMania, and it was a really really good moment, and it was awesome to see. Yeah.
I always liked Kofi Kingston.
He paid his
just
dues.
because, like
He's
I
cool.
really liked him.
He paid his dues. He paid his dues.
Not only that,
He's a guy that went out there, worked his ass off every week, would show up
Mhm.
at every single show. He wasn't a guy who was a part timer. Like I don't like part timers. When the guy when Brock Lesnar or The Rock can be like, I'm going to show up and I'm going to take the main event of WrestleMania this year.
Mhm.
Like fuck you. These guys have been working every week, and now you're going to show up.
How about you go film another fucking Fast and Furious
Yeah.
and get on my face?
Yeah, like if you're gonna show up to WrestleMania, but you're gonna wrestle mid card because people have been working all year round to be the main event.
Yeah, for sure.
So like this year's WrestleMania was kind of a really good field goal moment, and a lot of people who are like, "Fuck that was super stupid," because their only piece of the first ever women's main event. The women main evented WrestleMania.
It was the main event.
The main event.
So I'm gonna assume, based on the way I saw people reacting to the fact that Ariel's not white, is that it was people lost their goddamn minds.
They did on the outside, but the inside people of wrestling were very positive
That's
to it.
cool as shit.
I was a part. So to me, I was the person who was like, "Cool, it's a wrestling match for women right now." Next channel. Didn't care because when I grew up in the Attitude Era, it was like really,
Tits and
really
ass.
it was really, really hot girls who would just go out
Tits
there
and
and they were horrible. And then wrestling got to this point where people still say the women are horrible, but I don't think they're that. I don't think they're bad anymore. They're trained. They're doing really well. And the women's wrestling and the storylines behind the women's wrestling are on par with the men, and they put good shows on.
Women are doing wild shit. Period.
Yeah,
For sure.
There's a
Like
girl.
they kind of like. I don't know if you feel about this or not, but I feel like the women's wrestling matches were more like breaking open the skin of the Attitude Era in some way because they were actually
Their
like.
storylines are getting a little more controversial.
Well, not just. Well, I'm not saying just that, but like doing
So,
like wild ass like moves.
I know I probably should have asked this a while ago.
Yeah.
What's the link for this so I can?
YouTube interviews with everyday people.
Okay.
Yep. So the There's a woman on there named. She's my favorite. She's named Ember Moon. She's a black superstar, but her whole gimmick and storyline is based off her D&D character.
Okay, so we're getting nerdy as shit, and I'm
Yes.
loving it.
And
We're
and
just
her
like, let's
her-
put some nerd
wrestlers-
shit in here.
and her finishing move, because every female in the company right now's finisher move is either elbow drop, a suplex, or a submission. Hers is a front flip off the top rope that turns into a Stone Cold Stunner, and it's called a Total Eclipse. She's fucking awesome.
Total eclipse of the heart.
But her whole gimmick is she's a werewolf.
Okay.
She's sick.
Has she been watching Glow? Like, is that what?
Pretty much, dude. I'm gonna show you this woman, and she's unbelievable.
Oh, she's fucking phenomenal.
Let's-
man.
I'm gonna-
I like her too.
Oh my god. All right, so I'm gonna move on to another question. Holy shit,
Dude, she's like this tall.
she's cool as shit.
yeah, she's
That's nuts.
and then this is her just in her personal life, just reading books and
I love books.
Yeah,
What's her shirt say?
Planet Express cart. So it's
Oh, that's Futurama
it's
and
all
Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's all
fusion.
Futurama characters. So she's a huge nerd.
That's cool.
A lot of the wrestlers are actually
And I think
huge
she's hot as
nerds.
fuck.
Believe it or not, there's up down down. That's Xavier.
Xavier Woods has his
was-
own YouTube channel where the wrestlers play video
Popular,
games against each other.
popular,
Which was a
shit.
thing where Vince McMahon caught you playing video games, you were fired.
Oh, so okay.
So
That's cool.
now they have Xavier Woods is not only one of the most popular superstars on TV, part of the New Day, but he also has one of the most popular channels on YouTube where WWE superstars compete against each other in video game competition.
They have
Holy
Asuka, Baron Corbin is
AJ
actually
Styles
on
is a
there
huge-
too.
See, that's
Video
game
crazy
God.
that someone would be like, "Don't do." Well, no, never mind, because it's Vince McMahon.
We make video games, but don't play them.
Right, for sure.
No,
you
but
can ask your
seriously,
question.
though-
I can still hear you.
Okay.
But
He's like, I need another one right now.
But yeah, seriously though, it was just one of those things that when they did their podcast and all that, or their film shows, I'm like, holy shit! There's a lot of wrestlers you don't realize that actually play video games.
Yeah.
It's on their fucking account.
Everyone plays video games.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Literally everyone plays video games. It's
Is that Wolf Prince?
No, that's my lollipop.
Lollipop.
I didn't grab you one.
Some of these names are great.
This is
Wolf
a
Prince Lollihop.
this is a hoppy beer.
Can I have just a smidgen?
This one I'm not
A
sure how you're gonna
smidgen.
feel about. Sorry, I just poured
I
it
love
on
it.
my fingers.
I got it on my finger.
I love the fact that we actually are actually pouring out
I'm going for it.
smidgens like fucking Gucci Hawk, the fucking old
So,
white.
so your
lady.
other question.
Okay.
Ooh, we just
we
hit
did
the
the-
2 hour mark.
We did the.
I'm not Russian.
I'm here forever. I live in your home now.
I'm not.
So
I'm not either.
okay. So we did wrestling. Let's go to things that were not cool in high school.
Go for it.
I want to hear favorite superhero, not just of MCU, but more so because I know you might have closer connections to different comics, i.e., DC versus
I'm a DC
Marvel.
guy.
Exactly. So, who is your favorite superhero that you have of all?
By far, your default. If you're hey, favorite superhero.
Yeah,
Batman.
Fair enough.
Batman.
I'm a Batman guy.
Okay, let me just ask it some probing questions.
Mm-hmm.
Does it bother you that he has no superpowers
That's why I
and
like him
is
more.
literally just a rich guy who can afford shit?
That's why I like him more.
Okay.
Because not just because a lot of people just think he's a rich guy who has all the the cool thing about Batman is before he became the rich guy, he went and he put himself in the poor. He put himself in he opened his mind and became. That's super hoppy. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
hoppy. That's a hop beer.
That's the Easter Bunny.
But I think what I like about Batman the most is he is very open-minded and he will listen to both sides and determine what works best for him at that point in time. And
But what about what works best for everybody?
He has prep time too.
that's the thing. Not everything's going to work for everybody.
So he's gonna go with what works best for him and not everybody.
Kinda. Because realistically, if you break down Batman as a superhero, yes, he's saving the town from crime, but he's probably also raising medical bills through the roof because
He's straight up ruining healthcare costs. Straight up destroying healthcare costs.
because he's like, I'm gonna take these criminals, and not only am I gonna arrest them, but I'm gonna break every bone in their body.
He's like, I'm not gonna arrest them. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of them. So I'm literally gonna send a bunch of people to Gotham General
Yeah,
who are just mere moments away from death.
but I
Ric
didn't
Flair
kill him.
chop.
I didn't kill him.
Also, they do not have insurance.
Yeah.
So the taxpayers pay for this. Thanks, Batman. No, I think Batman's a cool hero.
Yeah.
I just
Now, if it came down to my favorite superhero, like
Okay.
that actually has
who has powers. Okay.
I would actually consider Tony Stark the same thing as Batman. I wouldn't say he's a superhero.
So you're
what?
going off.
He's
First of all,
he's still a billionaire with superpowers.
let me.
He doesn't have any super. He's still a human.
First of all, do not talk
He has
about my
that-
dad that way.
I love Tony Stark.
My wife,
But he's not a
literally,
superhero.
when we were in, I listened to Infinity Hop, so I'm allowed to say what happens in Endgame, right?
100%. That ban has already been lifted.
Okay.
Yes.
I
If you
My-
haven't watched the last Endgame, turn off now.
you're an idiot. Go watch it.
You're a goof.
moron.
Watch,
Actually, you know what?
watch the
Go pay for it in the theater where they give you 6 more minutes of stuff so that they can
That's
try
a
to
dirty
beat
move.
Avatar.
That's a dirty move.
They're just trying to beat Avatar.
That's a dirty move.
That's all they're doing.
That's why I don't like Marvel.
That's fair. That's fair. But I watched. I love Robert Downey Jr.
So do I.
He was wonderful in Sherlock. In Sherlock Holmes.
Never watched any of them.
The film Sherlock. Watch the first one. The film Sherlock Holmes is fantastic.
I gotta watch it. Yeah.
But I love him.
They're
so much.
wild.
My wife is like, he's your surrogate dad.
Is your wife is she Team Cap?
I think she's team. I don't care as much as you.
Oh,
So
I would very.
Is she really nerdy? Pretty much.
no.
I lean very.
No, not.
Like,
I lean,
no.
if it came down to like Marvel. All right. Here's my question.
That's a very good impression.
I'm gonna repose.
No.
I'm gonna repose the question back to you.
Yeah.
You have to make the Mount Rushmore of superheroes.
That's what we did our
See, my-
Stanley episode. The first. That's
Yeah.
actually the very
My
first
problem is
episode.
I wasn't a kid who like was able to get comics
Mhm.
and all that stuff. So mine is literally films. I
Yeah.
know.
So
The
you're
MCU.
you're the film watcher, not the comic reader.
Exactly. I know the MCU, which is the tops. I know the DCU, which is okay.
Movie wise, not the greatest.
No,
Yeah.
not good.
Animated.
And then I
awesome.
know Daredevil
Love
with
Daredevil.
Ben Affleck.
He's high up there for me. Daredevil.
Ben Affleck Daredevil?
No, just the character.
Oh,
Daredevil.
the character Daredevil is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's not good.
I don't think Ben Affleck was a terrible Daredevil. I just think the entire movie of Daredevil was done very poorly.
Oh my god, it was so
Yeah.
bad.
But my favorite Batman.
But also Catwoman wasn't good.
yeah, my favorite Batman of all time is Ben Affleck.
Why'd
Which
you throw in the fucking random T into that?
He does throw a T in.
Ben
Sorry.
Affleck.
Ben
He
Affleck.
does throw a
Affleck.
T in there. I heard that too, but I was gonna let it go. You
Ben,
got
no,
upset
no,
about it.
no. I'm gonna be fucking dirty.
not this
You're like,
Ben.
you're like Ben Affleck, and you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Ben
Does he
Affleck.
really have an
Yeah, he does
anonymous
that too.
T
He's
like
my favorite
thrown in
Batman
there?
of all time.
So if I'm going MCU, if I'm going film, if I'm going heroes, obviously Tony Stark.
Mhm.
Tony Stark he created it. He's the first.
Oh, definitely.
And I see that. What do you mean? What do you mean?
He started the universe, but he didn't.
I think it.
The only
No,
all
there's more
here's
along the
only
lines.
reason that they ever made a Iron Man movie is because they didn't have the rights to X-Men and Spider-Man.
Yeah, they did. And sorry, you're right. Yeah, they didn't. And that worked out very well.
It did.
Because every time people make X-Men movies, if it's not Logan, it's fucking terrible.
I think
Yeah.
the other ones aren't that great either.
I'm
No,
going by. I don't watch a lot of. So,
I made a joke going into Logan. I said he is a great Wolverine, but I'm a big villain guy.
The writing.
Once again,
that's the
I'm
problem with
writing.
the MCU stuff. Go ahead.
I'm a Batman fan. The reason I'm a Batman fan is because Batman, because he is human, you can believe when his villains get the upper hand every now and then,
Mhm.
and then he can show adversity to beat them.
Exactly.
If
You
a
can't
guy
believe, why is Thor not winning every fucking fight he's in?
exactly. So Batman,
I'm with you.
so he kind of loses a little bit, and then he goes back and he gets reassessed, and he does the detective work, and then he becomes a
Detective.
then he preps and then says, I'm not losing this next fight. And he goes into the fight and he wins. That's why I like Batman.
Well, after Bane broke his goddamn back, for sure.
Well, do you know why he broke his back?
Because
In the comics.
because he's Batman.
So in the comics, the reason Bane broke his back is because Bane got together with all the other villains, and all the other villains orchestrated this giant crime wave in the city for the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
So Batman had to go and take care of like a bunch of people at one time,
So his back was really weak.
and then retired back to the Batcave at the end of the night when he thought he was done and exhausted, and Bane was waiting there for him. So Bane out-prepped Batman.
Out-prepped it. My thing is,
So,
just shoot
put
him in
this
the
way.
face.
Put it this way, Bane just goes like back.
Well, they fought. It wasn't until he grabbed
Like,
him and said, "Oh,
forceful.
welcome home. Back broke." They fought for a
Yeah.
while, but Batman was like to the point
Fucking-
of exhaustion.
Yeah.
And that's where I relate a lot with this podcast. I relate a lot of me as my personal person, as a Batman in a way, because I rely too much on me. And then I have people who are my boy wonders who let me down. I say, fucking get your shit together.
I want to say,
That's why I'm hugging him.
I
right
want to
now.
say I was
There's a good
here.
reason why I'm doing that.
I want to say I was here, and then you actually weren't. He was here, and then
Yeah.
when you came in, he broke your back before
He
the
did.
show started.
He let me down a little bit.
No, me? No. What happened was you were already here. He walked in and you broke his fucking back, and then we started the show.
No, put it this way. When I saw the
Behind
time,
the
I'm like,
scenes,
holy
Ben
dog
showed up
shit.
5 minutes. We hit the live button.
He's about to lose his mind right now. Like,
Understand this.
okay.
I will absolutely show up to the show no matter what.
Unless he drinks really heavily the night before.
No, we're
That
good.
and if I'm going somewhere, which I'm gonna be like rocking and rolling that for a bachelor party.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But
You gave me prep time.
What? Okay.
but
Wait. Okay. Wait. We're gonna move past this.
All right,
Okay.
just
Okay.
hug me.
but point being
Right.
like
Okay. Hang on. No, we're not gonna move past it.
here's
You open the
the
door.
whole, you know
I regret this.
you know what? I'm gonna open it up, but it's gonna be a good open up.
Uh-huh.
So
By
like,
the way, Ben's drunk. Just
Well,
no, I'm not that
do you-
fucking hammered.
I
If you
mean-
know I'm hammered, I'm like,
you're hammered.
like
I know
fucking
you very
zombie,
well.
zombie mode.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say this right now.
Thank
Yeah.
you for this.
I know you're into the political references.
Here we
I
go.
know I
Wow,
fucking.
wow.
Oh,
I wanna-
shit,
I wanna
let's
hit
do
it up
this.
the road.
You took
I
it
want to
right
hit it
there.
up right now.
Yes.
I am as one of my buddies actually said to me.
A racist.
He goes, no.
Okay.
Oh
I
God. I'm like, well,
Your
this has got
political
got-
views. Your political views, Ben, are wandering samurai.
I don't know what that means.
So in other words,
Also,
like,
have not heard that.
like just rocking and rolling, like whenever it comes, it comes.
Can we hit you with
at the
top?
same
Can we
time.
hit you with top?
No, no.
And then you tell us your opinion
No.
on them.
No. No.
You're like, please don't make me do this.
No.
You
But
said
still
this,
though, like
Ben,
you
abortion,
said this,
go.
and then you were like, oh no.
no, like
Ben,
wandering
what's your take on
samurai.
abortion?
What?
What's your take on abortion?
I don't care for it, but
We're all looking
it's
to have a
absolute-
good time.
Like that's a weird topic because like for me at least
Healthy dialogue is fine.
I would say to you right now, like if there's like a rich white girl, that should be like,
No,
I
take
can
away-
fucking
take
do
away-
this whenever. I'm
take
like,
away economy.
no, but at the same time, like if there was a girl that was just like, yo, I really truly fucked up, I would be like, you can do it. Go from there. That's how I feel.
All right, so
about it.
I think what he's trying to say.
I feel
Yeah,
like there's
please
like
explain to me-
the
what
moral
he's trying to
reason.
say is if you're a normal income girl who has sex with a guy, doesn't have a connection with the guy, and then wants to have an
blown the
abortion.
wad
Hang on.
every time.
I think I can put this into a good perspective.
We're just, by the way, real quick, everyone, we're talking about abortion, and we're already pretty drunk. So.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna skip past this after this. But I think
You hit it hard, fucking right off the bat, but go on.
I think I can put this into perspective. I think based on what I'm hearing, what you're saying in a more macro sense is there is never a rich people can get abortions, regardless of whether or not they're legal. Rich people can get them, whereas lower income people cannot. And it's unfair that someone who does not have the means to have that reproductive service is able to is not able to get that, whereas someone who is at the top and can get it regardless of what the situation is can get that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's probably what it is.
No, it's exactly what it would be.
Fucking yeah.
Nailed
Killing it.
You know, but like point being, well, like
That was a crazy question you posed.
it's just a whole.
I'm like, wait, what? Don't do this.
Honestly, it's just the whole fact of me like. It's just practicality.
All right, Ben.
Quite honest.
What's your favorite minus the bear song?
I was just gonna throw another curveball at him.
Ooh.
What's your favorite minus the bear?
You really like Minus the Bear?
I don't really like minus the bear, but I know that it's a song from minus the bear that I love, but I don't remember what it's called. So I'm gonna see if that's what.
Okay.
I like how he took the wheel. He just took the wheel here and just turned it.
Did I steal this?
heel
podcast?
turn.
I'm actually
he
very.
did a heel turn on this. I
Not a
don't
heel
mind
turn.
it.
Not a heel.
No, not a heel turn.
He's
But
like, oh shit, we're talking about abortion.
No, that's true. I'm the heel. Of this
Okay,
podcast.
so let me ask you this.
You sons of fucking bitches. I'm the worst.
Okay, Terrayne.
I gotta be honest, I'm having a fucking blast.
This is so fun.
Terrayne,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna ask you right now.
Yep.
Man, you are.
What's your favorite Minus the Bear album?
Dude,
He doesn't know albums.
Nope.
You see, he barely knows the song.
I literally there's
Are you not
one
listening?
minus the bear song
Is that
I
at least
love.
Plan Device?
Are you not listening?
I honestly, if I read the name of the song, I couldn't remember it. This was like when I was growing up.
I'm like kind of like a super fan in a way, but at the same time, I actually have to.
Who's your
meet
favorite
them.
member? What's your favorite member's
I-
name?
I like Jake Snyder.
Oh, okay.
The singer.
Okay.
I would never.
I
that.
literally was like, uh-oh.
I actually way back in the day.
Is it
actually,
Nights? Is Nights the song
I've never.
oh,
heard
that's from fucking.
What's it called?
That's from Planet of Ice.
It's from Planet of Ice.
I've never
Oh,
listened to Minus the Bear in my life.
Don't,
All right, don't do that. You're gonna get us boy. You can't. 30 seconds.
Hey. You'd have to pay for that.
Yeah.
I know,
And I'm not.
You almost shut us down.
And I'm
Don't worry, I'm okay.
100% not going to chip in for it.
Yeah, he's not. I'm not asking for his money.
Uh,
No more. No more singing.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's my favorite song.
You hummed it. Okay.
You got it.
I always like joke around with the Homer Simpson reference from Simpsons because it's like I owe you donuts.
You're like I can't. We can't talk about. Okay, so if I'm gonna do my MCU, not Rushmore.
Okay. Yes.
No.
Superhero. No. Both universes.
I can't.
DC and
It's
I
hard.
forget. I even forget mine. To be quite honest with you.
Here's my ultimate. I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna do Marvel, DC because realistically, superhero wise, they're two hit it.
Yeah,
Like you have Spawn, who's Dark Horse, but
Spawn's dope. He was in one of the Soul
He is.
Calibur games.
he is, but he's not Mount Rushmore material yet.
He's a good black superhero, believe it or not. Around here.
Is he really?
He is black.
No
Yes.
joke.
Is
Yeah.
he?
Yeah,
I
Spawn's black.
just know
Tom
he was
McFarlane just fucking like.
He was in
Open
a.
up
I know
the
he was in a. I know he was in.
You know why
Soul
Spawn was?
Calibur
You know
game.
why Spawn was created?
Really?
Todd McFarlane started drawing Spider-Man and drew. Yes,
Good.
he's created. Well, he created Spawn. He started drawing Spider-Man in a different art style, and the people loved it. The people
And
at Marvel
Venom, too.
didn't,
Mhm.
and he just like, oh, you got to change it. And he goes, cool, I'll change it, and then drew the whole book, and then they couldn't go back and change it.
So I forgot to change it.
So
My
pretty
bad.
much the Spider-Man that you see in today's standards is Todd McFarlane. He changed the way Spider-Man looks because once Marvel was like, fuck, this guy keeps fucking us, we're going to fire him. Then they changed Spider-Man back to what he was. Everyone's like, dude, the other Spider-Man looked way more badass. So they end up they pretty much stole Todd McFarlane's idea of Spider-Man, and that's what we know today.
Yeah.
And Todd McFarlane's like, well, fuck you, I'll go create Spawn,
Mhm.
which if you realize the eye holes, very similar to Spider-Man, he created Spawn. Yeah. So
That's cool.
Spawn's good, but he's not Mount Rushmore. So
Right.
Mount Rushmore's what, 4?
Right.
Yeah, you get 4.
Four.
So you got Batman.
By the way, Mount Rushmore. One of the people on Mount Rushmore was the only reason that they're on there is because they were the friend of the person who made Mount Rushmore.
That's bullshit. We're not giving that person that pass.
I
So
I just wanted to make sure that it was,
so your George Washington
Mhm.
is hands down, and I'm not a fan of this hero at all. Superman.
It's gotta be.
He's the OG.
It's gotta be.
He's daddy of the super. He is the first superhero.
He's a fucking Jew.
he's
What the
not-
fuck, man?
Wait,
What the fuck,
Wait,
Tony?
He's a Jew.
Well, the two guys
You
actually.
gotta explain yourself now.
All right, I'm
I
gonna
don't-
explain myself right off
Wait,
the
hang
bat.
on a second.
There's 2 Jewish kids that actually made Superman, so therefore.
I have a question. Are Jews not allowed to be on Mount Rushmore?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying though.
Your first thought was he's quote. Let me just quote you. Wait. Quote.
You dug
He's
your
a
hole.
fucking Jew. Unquote.
I added fucking, by the way.
Yeah, you
No,
did.
there's actually no. There's a good reason why I'm saying this is because
I would like to know that reason.
Superman is actually made by two Jewish boys way
Which,
back in the
which
40s.
doesn't matter anything about
Right,
anything.
right.
No.
No. Hang on.
No.
Let's just let him dig this hole. So
So in other words, like there's two Jewish boys that
Right.
said like I want to make a good superhero.
Okay.
And
me too,
therefore-
fellow Jewish boy. What should we do?
Yeah, like it's like that's where Superman came in like
Right.
in the 30s, and
Mhm.
therefore they were just like, all right, we're gonna fucking rock and roll with what we have like super.
You're not-
speed,
you're not-
I
super
am
strength,
I
super-
am not
like,
figuring out
anything,
why that
everything.
does not work. I'm waiting to the point where you tell me why it should not be on the
No,
goddamn-
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
That's
no.
why
Like,
you stopped us.
like
Anyway, so Superman.
see,
yeah.
like 1937. Like
let's just stop there.
here's where we're gonna go from it. 1937,
Hang
they
on,
did
because he's
did their own
about
thing.
to say some work.
And then, like 1939, Marvel came out of the woodwork with the Human Torch, and they did a whole like Android. They did a whole Android thing with that overall.
Right.
And they like it was really crazy because is this a trivia? This was a trivia question on Rollins.
All you need to say is billions like 4 times, and then you would make more sense.
Nope.
All right, let me stop you there.
We're gonna
Okay.
backseat this. We will come back.
so Superman is your number one.
Right. Even though they're Jews, Superman.
The absolute earliest,
Batman, who was stolen by another man,
1939.
is number 2.
Really? Number 2?
Number 2.
Okay.
My number 3
Okay.
would be Spider-Man.
Okay.
My
And then
number
62.
My number 4 would be Captain America.
That's cool as shit.
That's
was
my
way
number-
back.
Well, of course,
oh,
first of all, if you didn't
40s,
put
in the
Captain
40s
America
at least.
in your Mount Rushmore,
Yes.
you're not patriotic enough,
Yes.
and we will round you up.
That is my number 4. Oh, and the only reason I do that, I feel like Captain America is very, very when it comes to iconic characters, Superman gets the pass because he's Superman. He's the first.
He's Superman.
He's the George Washington.
There's no question about Superman.
Yes.
He's Superman.
If you take
Why did he win? Because he's
That's
Superman.
what I'm trying to get at
So
with
if-
our conversation.
I mean, yeah, but
You
you
started
mentioned
horribly.
Jews like 4 times.
I know. I did a shit job about it.
Yeah,
The point
not a
being,
good
though, like,
job of mention, but I get.
Superman is just like, yeah,
we'll
overall.
chalk it up to alcohol and we'll just move past it.
Yeah.
All right. So so then the reason I go Batman Superman
Mhm.
is because I feel they're the most, in my opinion, the most iconic heroes of all time.
Right.
Not only as characters, but their villains and their universe. If you took any superhero fan and said, "Do me a favor, I don't care about heroes. Name me your top 10 villains that you know in your head."
They would pop up.
They will
from
almost
those
always be
places.
Spider-Man or Batman.
Spider-Man and that they had great villains. They
Yes.
had great villains.
They're the most iconic villains.
Okay. So
Like even Punisher
wait,
came from a Spider-Man comic.
so you know,
Spider-Man
oh
129.
shit. So you know, who Mysterio is.
Yes.
Yes, I actually had the first appearance of that.
He's gonna dress up as him as well.
That's dope as shit.
I want to do like the whole like
Ben's
Bullshit.
completely drunk. All right. We're probably gonna cut this off like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah. So let me go through. Let me try to speed through other more questions I have.
Yeah.
So let's go with interviews with everyday people.
Okay.
Who did you get that you didn't think you were going to get for interviews with everyday people?
Well, that's a good fucking question.
I haven't really gotten anyone yet that I didn't think I was gonna get.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm pretty confident, and I think a lot.
You're like, I can fucking get anyone to sit down here.
Cocky.
Not cocky, confident.
No,
There's two different
I
things.
get,
No,
I
they're
get,
cool.
I get.
There's someone that
Unless you're
there's
balls.
two people that I really want to get.
Let's do that. Who do you really want on this show?
So who I really want on interviews with everyday people, I would love to have a member or the family of someone that represents the Yingling family.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'd love the Yingling family.
Let me give you another one.
Yes.
The Gears family.
I have Gears IC tattooed on me.
Yeah, you need to get someone
Yes,
from there.
I would. They're definitely on the list.
Get Eddie or Casey or Paige.
You know them?
I grew up on West Market Street.
Okay.
So I lived. Those three. Sorry, everybody. Were on West End.
Okay.
So I knew them growing up.
I honestly, when it comes to
They're
Skook
cool.
Stock,
They're super nice. They were fucking awesome.
for Skook Stock, the two people that I would love to like just sponsor, or they don't have to put money in, just say they like they'll
Put your
help
name
out.
on it.
Put your name on it would be Gears, and to me, when I think School County, it's Gears Iced Tea and Yingling beer.
Yeah.
100%.
For sure.
But then the other guest would be an old coach / teacher of Monterey that I went to school with, Mickey Holland. He was the high school basketball coach of the boys team in Monterey area for many years. Monterey's school graduates, if you're lucky, 40, 30 kids a year.
Really?
It's not high at all.
It's small.
I'm going to say boys. Just boys. 40 to 50 kids a year. 100 if you put both of them together. It's a small school.
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
Wait, but like, what's the percentage of people who go there that graduate? You know have that number?
I don't know.
Okay.
But realistically, we're not a Pottsville. We're not.
I mean, Pottsville graduates a lot of people because there are a lot of people fucking live. Pottsville, the only city in School County, the county seat of School County.
Yes.
I know dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But
so anyway, Monterey area, literally under his rule as under his realm as a coach. I don't want to say rule, but under his realm as a coach.
Realm doesn't work. But
Under his coaching.
Yeah.
Of Monterey basketball has been a state championship contender almost every single year he's been a coach, which is impressive because that's not a big school.
Right.
So not only did his just coaching style and his connection with his players and what he's done as a high school basketball coach. I coached sports for a long time.
What sports?
I coached youth and high school soccer. And the demand that it takes for you to do that is insane. And this guy did it for years. And I only did it for a couple of years here. I coached maybe for total 7, 8, 9 years. He did it for 30, 40 years. And like what it takes I didn't plan vacations as a coach. And I wasn't even a head coach.
Yeah.
But I didn't go on vacations because I'm like, I need to save, because I worked a 40-hour job and now he was also a teacher and a coach, so maybe it was different. But that'd be a great way to find that medium, because I know me, like my wife knew from soccer season, from start to end, we didn't see each other. And that's taxing on a relationship and your friends and your personal people. So, and for him to do that as long as he did and be successful, I'm always interested, and I just highly respect that person.
That's cool shit.
So that would be you added the third with Gears, but the Yingling family, the Gears family, and Coach Holland would be my three go-tos that I would love to interview. Yeah.
Yeah, the funny thing about it is when I went to the comic book shop in Schuylkill Haven.
Comic book shop in school.
I hope this is on topic.
I'm sure it is.
Ironically enough, I actually saw Dick Yingling driving in like a 2000 Toyota Corolla. So like,
with a 2000 Toyota Corolla?
Yeah.
How did you know the year?
It's because Ricky Wetzel Ricky Wetzel actually drives one.
Oh, okay.
So therefore, it was an older Toyota Corolla. So I was going to be like, "Yo, Dick!"
You would have done that.
No,
but like, hey,
gotta do that.
Please don't do that.
Hey.
We were going to do Bangin' Beers, but this idiot at the comic book shop screamed "Yo, Dick" at me.
Yo, Dick. Well, we're not doing that.
Well, Richard Yingling, Dick, like it's a fucking old standard.
Listen, I'm just going to be honest with you. If he were to be gracious enough to sit down with us, we wouldn't do it in my kitchen. First off, I would gladly bring the entire podcast to him. But you would call him Mr. Yingling the entire time, unless he tells you otherwise.
Counterpoint: go Yo Dick immediately. Go Yo Dick immediately and see how it works.
Honestly, I would actually treat him like a regular human being. Flat out, like Yo Dick.
I know that we have.
Oh hey, how are you?
I know that we have limited time. I know that we have limited time, so I would like to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna.
I like these questions.
No, I'm gonna jump back to. I was gonna jump back to my podcast.
Absolutely.
And I would love
my political views are Wandering Samurai.
Just slide to the
That's,
left.
Wandering
Slide to the
Samurai.
left a little bit. Let him do his
No. I would very much welcome either of you to
Yeah.
come on. Because one thing about alcoholics is you don't honestly have to know everything about what's happening at the time.
right.
I with my guests, I give you exactly what we're going to talk about. You can figure out what your views are on them before we do it. I like to record on like Wednesday. I like to
General
record on,
framework.
Let him go.
I like to record on like Saturdays or Fridays. So
Okay.
on like Wednesday, I'll be like, here's what we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
If you want to come on and do that, that'd be great. But I very much hope to have one of you or both of you on.
He'll take a break.
He's like, I'm not gonna do that. But I very much
I'll cut it out.
because it's super fun. And,
I'm in.
And sometimes and honestly, politics, I will make it fun.
Yeah.
Because we will get drunk and we honestly will end up talking about Endgame and how what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Listen, to limit time is a figment. It really comes down to me when I hit the button. So
You're like, well,
Exactly.
am I interested again?
favorite
He's the Tony
favorite-
Stark of this. whole
favorite
thing.
Marvel movie so far. All right.
Okay.
Eliminate the Avengers movies.
Iron Man was an amazing movie.
Okay.
It was amazing.
I like the one that people didn't like the most.
Oh, you liked Thor: The Dark World?
No.
Because that was the one that
No, the one that everyone that says like puts really low on the list, which I think is super high. I liked Black Panther.
Black Panther was okay. I don't know what lists you're looking at. I'm gonna send you some.
Most
lists
people I talked to didn't like Black Panther.
You live in School County. Most people you talk to do not like Black Panther.
Yeah.
If you look at critically like critical lists, Black Panther's very
Even
high.
like IGN. IGN has Black Panther mid-level.
They're wrong.
I agree.
If you rank it based on Rotten Tomatoes score, Black Panther's at the top, if not one of the top 3.
What made Black Panther the best movie, like top movie for you?
It was different.
Mhm.
It wasn't just this normal. My thing is, I think that villains are very important.
That's exactly what I was going to go to.
You have to have a serviceable, not just a serviceable villain, but a villain that actually you can empathize with. And then at some points you're like, am I rooting for this villain? I feel like I kind of been rooting for this villain. And I think in Black Panther they gave you that.
Yes.
I think
The last time I've ever seen a villain like Black Panther was how people. Now I'm not a Christian Bale Batman fan, but Heath Ledger the Joker, he took you aside of the Joker that you're like, man, you can have a bad day and you can see, I could be the Joker.
this guy's straight.
You can literally wake up one morning, have a series of events in your life that can change who you are as a person and turn into the Joker.
Wow.
That's Black Panther.
I
That was Killmonger in the Black Panther.
think
Yeah,
yes,
wow.
I think Killmonger and Black Panther literally gave you just this amazing other side.
You didn't know who you wanted to root for.
Exactly, because you're like, yes, I love that they have this kingdom of their own, and
He has
they
a
get to say,
completely justified reason of being why he is.
but I am a part of this royalty, and you left me out. You murdered my father.
Mhm.
Like they did. That was
Because your
so well done.
because your politics didn't allow you
Your
to
politics-
spread your wealth to everyone
Your
else.
politics dictated that you were an isolationist, and you don't tell anyone about how great you have it and how you can help the entire world.
Which is exactly why a lot of people get upset. We're like, why doesn't America only take care of itself and not everyone else?
No, well, the weird thing is America sometimes takes care of other people. They just don't take care of other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, that's the villain of. See, that's why.
And it hit at a point in time in our culture, society, where it, once again, it's a Rick and Morty episode where it talked about some serious things and it went over everyone's fucking head. And the only thing people looked at in that movie is because, oh, they made an all-black movie and I'm upset about it because da 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 da.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
Martin Freeman was in it.
Yeah, it
He's
wasn't.
super
It was literally a movie that was. It could have been impactful to all of us and where we are as a society. And honestly, like the biggest moment of that movie when Killmonger was in the junkyard and he's fighting the Claw, and he has his girlfriend, and he's like, "What are you gonna do now?" And he just goes, "Bang!" and he shoots her right in the head, and he goes, "You think I give a like? I have a bigger purpose. That
This
girl
is
is
my
just
purpose.
this girl is just a person, a part of it. You know what I mean? Like,
And I think didn't he like sort of like kind of apologize before he shot her?
kinda,
He like was like, sorry.
yeah.
Yikes!
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to shoot you dead in the face. My
Michael B.
bad.
Jordan, in my opinion, is
Is
one of
so
the best
good.
villains in
Oh.
comic book movie history.
Mm.
It's gonna when the history books are written, it'll probably go Thanos and Joker. But-
Thanos was fucking
But
great.
Killmonger's up there.
Can I just say Thanos was great in Infinity War?
Killmonger. Thanos had 2 movies to prove that he's awesome. Killmonger had the same impact in one.
In one for sure. I would literally Thanos in Infinity War was incredible.
Mhm.
I
I didn't like him in Infinity War. I liked him
What?
better in Endgame.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I loved him in Infinity War.
I think what ruined Thanos for me is the way the characters reacted to him. The entire time he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get these stones. I'm gonna get this glove, and I'm gonna erase you from existence." And the heroes, because it's a Marvel movie, were like, "Ha ha ha! This is fun. Let's have fun. Ha ha ha! Jokes." They
I
never.
feel like the Teletubbies are about to fight
They
Thanos.
like
they never
like
took it
working
serious.
anime.
They never took it serious. It's
I
because
think
Marvel movies, they for some reason Marvel movies can't cross that line
Well,
where it can be serious.
Marvel movies seem to have, and which is good in some senses, but in this specific sense, I see what you're talking about, where they're like, okay, we are a serious superhero movie, but we gotta have those laughs. Gotta give them the laughs.
Yeah, I
So,
hated that. I
so
hate
you
that.
watch the beginning of Infinity War where they make a bunch of jokes. Like Tony starts talking to Peter Parker and is like, they're trying to steal a necklace from a wizard. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
It's like
horrible.
no, he's going to fucking murder all of you.
Yes.
You need to take this a lot more seriously.
That's what ruins it for me. The only time Black Panther ever hit me with a line where I rolled my eyes like, really, this is fucking stupid, is the Croc lines. What are those? When she looked at his shoes, he goes, "What are those?"
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and I was like,
What?
come on.
Oh, the Croc
What kind of
ones, I know what you're
nonsense shoes
saying.
you're wearing?
Like,
And
for the most part, Black Panther, it did have its little jokes here and there, but it didn't derail the movie for me.
Yeah.
It still said there's some serious shit happening, and we need to.
And I did this. I wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
when she was walking away and like whipped him off.
Yeah.
And the mom's like, "Hey," and
Yeah.
she's like,
But
"Sorry,
like,
mother."
but like Infinity War, they didn't take it seriously until it happened, and then you want me as the
I think-
audience
I
to take
think-
Endgame seriously.
See, the thing is, I think they took it seriously, but not. But as you are absolutely right that Marvel doesn't take it seriously the entire time.
Mhm.
So they took it seriously in the sense that they came up with a legitimate plan on Titan to try to fight him. They came up with a legitimate plan on Earth and Wakanda to try to fight him. But when they just still had like fun jokes about it.
Yeah.
And then it was just when it actually happened, they were like, oh, he did. Oh,
Yeah, he did it.
he really did it.
What would be your favorite Marvel movie? I'm sorry, I segued this. I want to pee real quick.
No, I also have to pay. I've been very quiet about this.
you can. We'll rotate.
To be quite honest, I actually like Captain America 2.
Winter Soldier?
Oh,
Winter
I
Soldier
loved
was
it.
such a good movie.
I loved the whole fact that like Captain America was like in 1943, like that whole golden age of like war.
No, you're
could
doing
say.
the first Avenger.
The first Avenger. Well,
Yeah.
that's what exactly
Okay.
what I'm getting at. But like it was all like chummy, like like war age propaganda. Oh yeah, this is so fun. And, like
That's
yeah,
true.
you could kill somebody. Oh, guess what? You're cool. But at the same time, though, like when they went with Winter Soldier, it went like 80s, 90s, and it's like you know what, Captain America's gonna fucking take care of business. Yeah, like, fucking
Wait, Winter
whip his
Soldier.
shield.
Winter Soldier was 2000s though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though,
Okay,
like,
yeah, no.
how the actual style of it overall is. It's just like, oh, whip a shield and like do your thing and fucking knock out people. It's like it's more tactical Black Ops bullshit.
Yeah.
Which I really thoroughly enjoyed. And I really did enjoy that. I'm like, all right, Cap, you're in this fucking World War II, like fucking sitting on it for like 70 years. Hey, let's see you fucking do your thing. And then he's like, all right, and then he fucking did his thing, non-lethal, but it was fucking aggressively non-lethal.
The thing is, he's not non-lethal. If you watch like First Avenger, he uses a gun. He murders people.
Well, I get that, yeah. But
when he does like watching him work with Natasha Romanoff,
Mhm.
where they are both like he has to be he's like doing the like subtle thing where that's pretty fucking cool. I really enjoy watching Cap work.
Yeah. I thoroughly like that too. Like you gotta have to balance out some shit when it comes to it, but at the same time,
Did anyone else cry in Endgame multiple times? You didn't cry once? Fucking nonsense. Okay, well, let me just say this.
I was a little bummed. I was a bum at the end, but I seen it coming.
You're a heartless monster.
I'm not
And I
gonna
saw
lie.
it coming as well, and then was like, I didn't get it. I literally was like watching the movie going, can I just get out of this whole thing without him dying?
Yeah.
This is fucking great. And then that happened, and then Doctor Strange was like, one. And I'm like, fuck, God damn it.
Yeah.
Here it is.
What ruined the Marvel franchise for me, where it literally crashed it right into a mountain.
What?
For me, to be honest, was Civil War.
You monster. Sorry. What bothered you in Civil War?
Because I like the Civil War comic a lot. And when
Makes
they
sense,
tried
makes
to,
sense.
when
Never
they
mind.
tried now once again too, I'm also once again a DC fan.
I retract my criticism.
Yeah,
because
I'm just gonna dive a little deeper. So DC for me, Batman vs Superman got shit on by everybody.
It sure did.
Now, yes, it didn't explain a lot, and it left a lot of loopholes, and it left a lot of open spots.
Yeah,
But
kind of like Endgame did.
But for me, as a comic book reader, the way Batman vs Superman played out was literally like you read a book, you read a page, and then you flip, and then you're somewhere completely different 10 years later. And you're like, what the fuck happened there? But as a comic book reader, I go, now I'm invested. To me, Batman vs Superman created a universe that made me say, I want to see where Zack Snyder makes it.
Mm-hmm.
And then once Batman Superman got such shit on because he was setting something up, then they turned around and said, well, we're going to scrap this whole universe. And now I'm sitting here going, well, why was Robin's suit sitting there with a bullet hole in it? Why was Bruce Wayne's manor destroyed in the movie? You've left so many open doors. Like, where was Darkseid? He had a dream about there's a whole universe that he was building on that one movie that you just didn't want to give an opportunity to because they didn't make stupid mom and fart jokes like Marvel does halfway through. Like I'm being serious.
Whoa!
Like if you go
You don't
back
like the taco joke
No.
where Professor Hulk
like you
gives that taco to Ant-Man?
Yeah.
You don't love that joke?
no.
Fuck you.
Like everyone latched onto
you.
the Martha thing. Like everyone latched onto the Martha thing and hated the whole movie because it wasn't Marvel. And I'm thinking to myself, DC, just push through, keep doing what you're doing because you have a really good universe built on right now that I'm asking questions for as a comic book fan. And they scrapped it all.
I think DC.
And now DC wants me to take them seriously with their next movie, and I'm like, I can't. I can't invest into you.
I think DC tried to be darker, got hit with some negative criticisms, and then kind of went, "Oh, well, we can't do this."
Exactly.
And it's like you can just do it.
Yes.
Like stop listening to what people are saying outside. But it makes sense they're trying to make money.
Yes.
But like, stop listening to what people are saying outside.
I feel like if they would have just stayed on course and finished the movies they wanted to make,
It'd be okay.
You'd be turning back into Batman vs Superman saying, holy fuck, that was Iron Man 1.
I think that's fair.
Iron Man 1 has gotten so much so much positive influence because it's created something that lasted 15 years or 10 years that Batman Superman could have been 20 years.
Try 22, son of a bitch.
22 years that Batman Superman could have been that starting point, but you fucking bailed and started bailing.
Sometimes you have to, and that's. I think that's fair. I think.
And here's the whole thing behind that, then too.
I'm gonna
Like,
go
I
pee,
feel
but-
like that.
Yeah, hit the P button.
Like,
Yes.
yeah, you do all right.
I don't want to.
We'll just talk DC.
What happens if I end the podcast?
You won't.
No,
What happens if you end the podcast?
You'll be okay,
I
don't
won't.
worry, we'll
I
get
won't.
you in.
I got you.
But point being though,
We're good. I got you.
Up straight.
Yeah. Up to the bathroom to the right.
but point being though, like I feel like that DC kind of like didn't like count their chickens, so on and so forth.
No, they listened to too much negative publicity and turned around and said, "Oh shit, this is not what people wanted," and then backtracked on it. So if we made this podcast
Mhm.
and I said, "Hey, here's where I want to start the podcast, and here's how I want to end the podcast,"
Mhm.
it's gonna take time to get there.
Right.
And people turn around and say, episode 1 and say, "Your podcast fucking sucks." But this is where we are right now. But we want to be here. You
Mhm.
got to go through the mud to get to the end.
No, I get that. Yeah.
And,
I get
and
that.
imagine if I was just stopping it right here and there because
Mhm.
we lose our vision because we got negative backlash.
Mhm.
I thought it was
get
a very
that.
weak move by DC, and I'm a DC fan.
I think DC really should have stuck to their guns in general.
Agreed.
Just about
They
that.
should have kept
And
Zack Snyder
they should
on board, and they should have let him do what he had to do. He created a universe.
It's just so much corporate and everything else that DC just kind of sort of fucked up on. Like, they should just
You know
let
you
it
fucked
roll.
up when your actors that are involved in your movie said, "You fired Zack Snyder. We don't want to be a part of this anymore."
Yeah.
The actors that he showed his vision to all had enough faith in him to say, "Let's ride this out and let's see how they go." Then they made Suicide Squad, and Suicide Squad was a completely different movie,
Mhm.
and they chopped it up to the point where it was almost unrecognizable, and then put it out for people.
Do you want me to tell you something right now? What my absolute best comic adaptation comic movie would be? Watchmen. You know why?
Up until the end, Watchmen's end sucked.
Zack Snyder actually did the whole entire thing.
How about Sin City?
Well, I'm not
Sin
gonna
City
get.
was
I'm
perfect.
not, I'm doing. I'm
Sin
going
City was
against
dope.
indie. Like, I'm just saying, like DC in general. Well,
It's
here's the
Vertigo.
reason why. What?
It's Vertigo. Watchmen's Vertigo. Now it's
for,
DC.
For real, no. Yeah.
When he made it, it was a Vertigo comic.
But I'm just saying though, like, just because I got introduced to it, Watchmen overall, I thought it was the actual best. Like, he did the full-fledged whole thing, and then they were like, "Oh, we are gonna go with Tales of the Black Freighter," which is a huge, absolute huge part to the story overall.
Mhm.
And like, I'm not gonna say like you're gonna cram a 5-hour movie in overall, but I'm saying though, you had the whole premise of Watchmen. It did its own thing. I thought it did very well in that absolute sense. And for me, like, I thought it was the actual best. You got a comic adaptation movie. That was it, flat out.
Fair.
And I just love the whole visual style of it, like how they did it. Yeah, Alan Moore was like, "Oh, fuck that, I will not support this." But at the same time, though, like, Alan Moore is a fucking salty old man. Like, just for the fact that he got fucking dicked over how many times by DC then too. So I kind of understand the salty. No, I do understand the
when it comes to the
saltiness.
comic books for DC, they say, "Here's we're gonna stick to our guns and make our books." When it comes to the animated series, they say we're gonna stick to our guns and make our books. Then when it comes to their universe, their cinematic universe, they say, "Let's try to make Marvel movies," and I think that's a mistake.
We just want people to like this.
Yeah. So we're gonna switch gears here. Now we're gonna go back to the podcast.
Oh, okay. I had one more question, but okay.
Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay. You like to do interviews with musicians.
Mhm.
I very much enjoy that. So my question is, what is your ideal role in a band?
It's that's a tough one because I think everyone in the band has so much responsibility to make that show good.
Right, but what do you want to be your? And I mean not just not like I want to bring the. I mean, like, in the band there is the drummer,
Yep.
guitarist, blah 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 blah. What do you want your role to be? And
To me, I latch to the front man.
you want to be the frontman
Singer.
I would say this the front man, the singer, because I think they have the
or
most
screamer?
they have the most important role. If you're a bland front man, you're gonna turn people away.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
No, that's for sure.
You can have a guitarist who can shred and do amazing things,
But if
and
you're
all
not-
they have to do is stand there and they can literally look like they hate their life.
Mhm.
And as long as they shred and hit those notes, you're good. You
You're
can
not-
you can have a bass player that does that. You can have a drummer. That you can have the entire band looking like they don't want to be a part of this band. But if the front man is going crazy, people aren't going to care.
I'm gonna say I disagree. I don't think that if I'm with you for some of it.
Yeah.
But if you have a bunch of people that look like they don't want to be there, and then one person that's like, this is the best.
Yeah.
They're not. No.
Yeah.
No.
I think people latch to the lyrics and frontman the most.
That's true. That's 100% true.
So you were part of a band.
I was part of multiple
bands, but your most recent one was a band that I didn't catch on till much later, and
when I left.
Yes, I love the band because it shows a lot as a band where they can rotate that frontman spot because the rest of the band has such a high energy that they can pull it off.
Yeah,
and that's Japan 4.
Yeah.
I
won't say anything negative about Japan 4 right now. It was a good situation when it was good, and it was not a good situation and it ended.
Yeah. I talked to a few of the members, and they know their downfalls and they know their faults. And they're very aware of those, and I think they're looking to make those changes.
Amen.
I think that they can. I think that they can be a great. If they're, I don't want to try to be like rude or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're trying to. If they're like, we can be this area's gas station disco. Where
they easily can be.
Gas station disco is doing like stuff fucking everywhere, like in Alaska, everywhere. And
Gas
they're
station
like,
disco and Light Up the Moon.
And Light Up the Moon and Light Up the Moon. That's correct.
Yep.
That's fucking great. And if they want to just be this area's that band, they can if they do it.
If they apply themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I talk to some of the members, and they know that's where they lack, is that ambition.
Mm-hmm.
And they're aware of that.
Yeah.
And because there's not one person that I ever said, did you go see Japan 4? And they said, yeah. Like, did you have a good time? No. Never happens.
No.
Because
we were a fun band.
They're a good time.
Can I just say, there were numerous times where we played shows where I said, hey guys, I hate most of these songs.
Yeah.
And it was still a very fun time. And
Yeah.
people were like, oh, you know what? It was really fun. I had a great time. I didn't notice that you hated them. I hate
Is that genre?
No, I love that genre.
Okay.
I just don't like the ones that they think are the best in that genre.
Okay.
So
you had a disagreement as a singer of the stuff you were singing.
No. Well, yeah, I did, but that's not what happened.
Okay.
What happened is deeper, and
Okay.
and I'm not gonna like go into what.
No, I don't
It's a
expect you to.
deeper cut.
Yeah.
In that sense.
It's a deeper cut.
Mhm.
I was kicked out because I didn't answer a Facebook message.
Oh.
So that's what happened there.
Okay.
Like, but I think that they can absolutely 100% fucking kill it. I think that they
talented.
can kill it. They're talented. They can do it. They're fun to fucking watch. I think that they're great. It's just that sometimes they're like, whatever.
Yeah. I think that's what it is too. I think sometimes they're very
Yes.
lax, and then sometimes maybe they turn it on. But because they set the standard of, like, for example, this podcast, I know a lot of criticism internally, and we'll take a deeper dive, is my expectations of the show.
Yeah.
And the people around me's expectations of what I expect.
Yeah.
For me, expect, yes. So you
Sorry,
can't,
I'm the dick who's like,
yeah, you can't turn around as a project or a band or anything and say, I'll allow this and happen, and then when I finally say I'm going to put my foot down and I want this and this, if you've allowed certain bad traits to happen for so long, it's hard to turn those around. Where if you expect that to be the norm right away, you've set a standard.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not the same when you're like, you have a specific. Sometimes come day one, what happens is sometimes what is like expected, right? So come day one, maybe this is a fun fuck around. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And then day 6, this is not that.
Yep.
And
let's take this seriously.
And then not everyone sees it that way. So it's like half of people think it's this and half of people think it's that. It's like, it's not that anymore.
It's a struggle.
We need
because then you got to tell the people who only see this as a fun thing.
Yeah.
And you love those people to death because you're your best friends and you don't want to step on toes, but you're like, hey, if you're only seeing this as fun, I'm seeing this as something completely different.
No, I know, I see it. I'm gonna not drink that.
Well,
I got like a slight piece of
foil.
I got a slight piece of foil.
Yeah.
I usually have at my place. I have a foil cutter.
Yeah.
Foil cutter. So I don't have to drink foil.
Oh, just go for it. It's not gonna hurt you.
Listen, who knows?
Yeah.
It's rough.
So you've been a front man in a lot of bands. Japan Force one.
I've been a frontman of Japan before, which was fun. It was one of the most fun. Literally playing shows at Trippin' when Trippin' was a bar was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved that place.
Yeah, I wish I would have caught onto that train earlier.
I loved the people that went. It was literally some of the most fun times that I've had as a musician.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking cool.
Yeah.
I played in Now the City with Eddie, Chris, Nolan, Eric, Travis before Eric, and Steve Kurtz, and it was some of the most fun times I've had. We played in Michigan, and we played in Michigan with Cyanide, I believe. Cyanide was then in Michigan. It was so fucking cool. I mean, Pauly Shore didn't come on the stage when we were playing.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
I remember getting that message. Your fucking Pauly Shore was in.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Our claim to fame was when we were running on the stage. We used to do this thing where we would all get in a circle, like we were a football team. We'd get in a circle, we'd put our hands in, and we'd say, "Now the city on 3, 1, 2, 3, now the city," and then we'd run onto where we're gonna play. And
in retrospect, that sounds horrible.
Steve fucking fell on the stage. It was amazing. It was amazing. I think I know it's on YouTube somewhere. We can find it. Steve fucking fell. It was so funny.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for our local music scene.
Yeah.
I just think it's fucking awesome. And I think a lot of people take it for granted. And I definitely want to change that mindset. I think that the local music scene is so good. And not just our local. I think there's just so much talent in our area when it comes to musicians. Next week or tomorrow, I sit down with Haley Stokes, who does all the artwork for Look Alive, and she wants to start her own comic book. Amazing musician, I'm a talent artist. And then we have, people, acoustic guys. Then we have local business that may not get as much recognition as should. I think is amazing. Then we have, like podcasts. Like my like you guys have a podcast. There's one, the Coal Fire Camp Stories. They're out of Pottsville. They're a podcast. One of my favorite, Murder My Dude, out of Pottsville. Awesome podcast.
Is that a murder podcast?
Yes.
Oh my god,
dude, it's so good.
Do they have a theme song?
They have like a little bit of an intro.
Okay, so there's.
Ladies, just let us know she's here.
Okay. If they want, I have a theme. So I wrote for my my sports podcast, Getting Blitzed. I wrote the theme song for it.
I have no music. I was the type of person when I used to listen to music, right? I'd be like, oh, I don't have music, and because you listen to those podcasts and it's like 3 minutes of music, and then you have 13 minutes of advertisements, and then you finally get to your podcast.
No.
And so I was like, I don't want to be that.
Well, you don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, when they're doing that, you're good. You keep getting my things because that's what my voice sounds like. And I'm like, I want to get mad. I'm like, no, he's right. That's what you're doing.
You just started to spot the roast.
But you were literally in the roast, you're just gonna do my voice. No. What? But I wrote the song for it. I wrote the song. I garage band the song for my Getting Bliss podcast, which I love so much. Mm-hmm. And I'm working on one for Alcoholitics. Let
me know what it costs, and maybe we'll have you do the other ones.
Listen, it doesn't cost anything. I have one that I think is going to be perfect for a murder mystery. They
have podcast. A really cool intro music.
If they have one, yeah. If they have good intro music.
So their show is they have a topic every week. So the show's called Murder My Dude. So then they'll change it to say if they did an episode on what's his name from Philly, Usam or whatever his name is, the guy who killed the cop, the whole story. I don't know if you ever heard that story. Nope. Or all right, so then
What's the Murder My Dude?
It's
Okay.
more. So they have an episode, Mullen McGuire's, where it's called like McGuire's My Dude, and they changed
Whoa!
each episode to like they had one. They did a whole episode on Pride Month, and it was called Pride My Dude, and they talked about the Matthew Shepard case, and they talked about the milk case, and they talked. So they said, hey, these are.
They have like multiple Pride Month cases. Multiple Pride Month cases.
They'll do three cases per episode, and then they end the episode with a game.
cool.
They end the episode with a game called Who Died the Worst,
Uh-oh.
and they pick.
Uh-oh.
They pick 3 deaths, and then they have to pick which one you think was the worst one that died. So it is a comedy podcast, so they do have some light humor without it.
It's still in there.
He doesn't.
You're good. You're good. Don't
Don't
put
do
your
that.
fingers in my shit.
What are you doing?
You're good.
man?
I just want to fucking dig it out.
I promise you I won't drink that.
Okay.
I promise I won't.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm just concerned
All
for
right.
our guests.
Okay. Well, you don't put your finger in their alcohol.
We can always open up another one.
Can I just say, this has been amazing.
I'm so sorry.
And no. I think that this was one of the. You literally were so concerned for me that you were like, I want to make sure that he does not eat a big ol' thing of tinfoil. So I will
stick my
I will
dirty
stick
finger.
my fingers into
Like,
your
I got
alcohol.
you, bro. Like,
Bro, we're the friends, bro. Let me just get in there.
I like
love
him. I like him.
All right. Okay. All right. Anyway.
Oh, sorry, we were talking about something else. Besides a person trying to stick their fingers in my drink.
Double handshake again.
Okay.
All right, quadruple.
I love you.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. So yeah, they
You seemed very confused as to what you're
Yeah,
supposed to say
it's
next.
just so bad. Yeah.
What?
So
no, it's great.
so yeah, so it's a great podcast. If you're interested, you should take a look at it. But yeah, check out Alcoholics on it is on Spotify. I couldn't find it on I use which is weird because you use the same thing I do, but you're
It's
not,
on Apple Music.
it is on Apple Music. If you
You type in Alcoholics, it is the
I use Pocket Cast, right?
Pocket Cast.
Pocket Cast.
Okay.
That's my
Oh, wow,
go,
look at that.
that's
shit.
my
Wow.
go-to podcast thing.
Really?
I typed in your show, and you don't show up. Here, type it in real quick. Make sure.
Okay.
Because you use the same thing I do to distribute podcasts.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and say, hopefully that's not what you were doing there. You said AC
No.
AL. I'm trying to do it as slow as possible so that I can make sure I don't type it in
Yeah.
correctly. Alcoholics. Let's see. I'm not finding it.
Yeah, that's that. So I was trying.
Pocket Cast.
Yeah, but I can find it on Spotify.
I can find it on Spotify. I can find it on. I can find it on. What the fuck is it called? Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can find it.
Yeah, I listen on Spotify. That's where I listen to it. So if you're looking for Alcoholics on Spotify, iTunes, all major platforms,
Except for Pocket Cast.
except for
'Cause
Pocket
you know what?
Cast.
Fuck you, Pocket Cast. I'm not coming for you. I'm fucking coming. I'm straight gonna murder.
So-
you.
All right,
Yeah.
nailed it then.
Oh, I'm just straight up gonna kill Pocket Cast.
What are some of your future things that you're looking to do on the show? I like how it took 2 hours or 3 hours to get serious again.
Cut down to 15, 20 minutes and rock and roll.
And then we.
What are you looking like for the future of the show?
I mean, I really would love to get more. I want to get more people who were a part of government's campaigns.
I have like 3 or
Have you
4
ever-
people approach me, and I kind of, I don't want to say blew them off, but I don't know enough about politics, so I feel like I would let them down.
Tell
That's
them.
fair enough, though.
Tell them I'll take them.
Okay.
I have had. I have the. Our debate correspondent is Jess Britton. She is the vice chair of the Columbia County Democratic Party.
Mhm.
I had Nathan Lund, who was a field director for the campaign for Denny Wolf, who ran against Dan User, who ended up winning that seat. I mean, I'm lucky enough to get people who are important, which I'm like, don't sit down with me. It's a weird call, but they're like, yeah, I'll do it. I really would like for more people to sit down and just talk about. Let's have some drinks and talk about politics.
Who's your go-to? You asked me my go-tos. Who would be somebody in the area that you would love to have on?
Who I'd love to have on? Jen User.
I mean, realistically, I asked the bands, every band that sat down, like, who would you like to play with? And 6 of the bands told me Crowbot, and now they're playing on the show with Crowbot.
See, that's fucking dope. I'm lucky enough. I got to be in a band where like being in a band was playing in places where you don't necessarily get to play and playing with people that you don't get to. I remember playing in German Texas. Sorry, what German Texas? German PA, JERMYN PA, and getting to play in front of the Chris Motionless, singer of Motionless, in like, and it was fucking nuts. Like getting to have people who you don't know, but like you know of their work, just be like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I got lucky.
So like Japan 4, who are very influenced by Taking Back Sunday, are going to play in front of Eddie Reyes.
That's pretty fucking cool. I will say this. I am very jealous of them for that. I don't get. Taking Back Sunday is one of my major influences.
You can come see Eddie at Skookazak.
For sure, I will.
Yeah, I'll introduce you.
I mean, please do. It's really annoying that I see that he's friends with my friends. And I'm like, fucking hang out with me.
I have Eddie Reyes on Facebook.
Yeah, I know. I know you do. I know every fucking person else who does. And I'm like,
So here's a funny Eddie Reyes story. So I interviewed Randy. Are you familiar with Randy?
I'm not.
So Randy.
Randolph Schultz.
Yes. So Randy.
I know him from. I played.
He's a psycho.
He's funny.
I love him.
Really funny.
So I interviewed him.
I played the wedding that he was at.
You're not a psycho, Randy. I just love.
No, he's a psycho. I love him to death.
I played Cheeseball's wedding.
Yes.
And
meatballs.
I couldn't see. I mixed those names.
Cheesefoot and meatball.
Cheesy Cheesefoot.
Yeah.
Which is Ron Cheesefoot. And I'm so fucking sorry, Cheesy. It's hard.
I actually seen videos of that wedding, and everyone did like brand new and stuff, and it was awesome.
No. But someone came up and did a Taking Back Sunday song with me. I believe it was a Decade and the Influence, and it was so cool. And I love that. I love when I get like audience participation, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, you guys love this. And I'm like, oh, that's right. They don't love you. They love the song.
Yeah. But no, so I went to the show. Randy's like, hey, we're playing here. There's actually going to be a makeup show that happens at the end of this month that I'm going to go to. But then they end up playing a Goodfellas. So Eddie Reyes played a Goodfellas. Yeah, it was like a snowstorm. It was like a freak weather accident, and it happened, and he played in Pottsville. So
Eddie Reyes played a Goodfellas.
Yes.
What's killing me.
So I walked up to the table and I was like, "Hey, I want to buy a T-shirt, And I found out that Randy likes one logo, but Eddie liked the other one, so they put both out. So I wanted to buy a T-shirt of the one Eddie liked just to piss Randy off, but they didn't have it in my size. So Heidi ended up getting it, and I got the one.
Oh, you condescending!
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
So actually, this is Randy's logo, the hands. And Eddie's is the skull.
Fate has a driver.
Yeah. So
Fate has a driver.
So I didn't think Eddie knew who I was, or anyone else in the band for that matter. So I talked to him like, hey man, I just want to buy a T-shirt, and he goes, all right, no problem, Anthony. And I went, what?
See, that would have made me lose my fucking mind. Can I tell you? I saw in Baltimore, Taking Back Sunday years ago. when they revamped the Tell Your Friends lineup.
Yep.
And I was with Eddie. I was with my friend Kelsey, and Kelsey was like, I was there. Let's see what happened. So I walk. I'm like, oh, let's just walk around the venue. Adam popped out, and I lost my fucking mind. And I'm like, guys, Adam's over there. I cannot go anywhere. I have to sit here because he's literally like one of. I swing the microphone because he swings the microphone.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going on with me. And they're like, okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's normal. It's fine. And Kelsey's like, you're gonna take a picture with me and him. And I'm like, I can't, because I don't know how to move anymore. And
my body does not work.
My body does not move at all, especially to take pictures.
Yeah.
And so we stalk him outside. Outside of the venue. He goes and gets.
And realistically, if you just walked up and like, I'm a huge fan, he'd been like, cool, dude. And he would
Exactly. So he leaves and goes to, I want to say, a Subway outside the venue. We're in Baltimore, where I'm gonna see Hamilton. What? And he comes back in, and she's like, all right, you're gonna take a picture with me and him. I'm like, no, I'm not, because I can't move. And like he comes back in, and she's like, can we take a picture? And he's like, yeah. And they take a selfie. And I'm like, thank fucking God. I don't have to touch a camera or look at him. Like, this is nonsense and nuts. Like, that band was literally what they're one of the reasons I sang.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the reasons I sang. I sang in Now the City. I sang in my shower. I
sing in the shower all the time. I'm not very good.
I sang for Japan 4.
Acoustics are up there.
Where I still sometimes get people who are like, are you singing with Japan 4 again? I'm like, I'm not. I'm not.
When you were in Japan 4, didn't you guys do a cover of Reliant K, Be My Escape?
We did.
We
didn't do it as much as I wanted to.
I love that song.
I love that song so much.
It's a gospel song.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, Reliant K is literally just like, oh, I love this song. Wait, what do you mean it's about Jesus?
Yeah.
Like they're
a good band. They're good.
Great.
Dude, Be My Escape is super catchy. It's a great
Be
song.
My Escape is incredibly catchy.
Yeah.
I love Be My Escape. I liked a lot of the stuff I did with Japan 4.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't click.
Are you cool with them now?
I don't talk to them now.
I think you should give them a hug.
I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah. I'm sure if you walked up and gave a hug, that's good
I'm
stuff.
sure they're fine. They don't need the hug. I'm sure they're fine.
Give them a hug.
Do your thing.
Don't live your whole life with that just one anchor hanging off you. Just go up and be like, hey guys, I get it. It is what it is. I love you. I hope you have a good show, and give them a hug. And I think you'll feel so much more weight off your shoulder.
I don't have a lot of weight on my shoulder.
Well, even the little weight that you possibly do.
I have a small amount of weight.
You have in the back of your mind, you think that someone doesn't like you, and it.
Oh no, I hate
fucking deadlift.
I hate when I think that people don't like me, but I also am black, so I think that people don't like me most of the time.
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I think if you came to Skookstock, which you should come to, and said, hey guys,
when is Skookstock? Tell me the dates and who's going to be there.
August 24th.
August 24th.
So here I'm gonna go line up from back to front.
Hit me.
So in between every.
By the way, is Sarah Cartwright going to be there?
Yes, she will be
one
of 5 comedians.
I fucking love Sarah Cartwright.
Yes, you're gonna fucking come with you. So Sarah's a huge reason why you're on this show right now, because she told me to contact you and we worked it out.
Sarah.
Yes. So Sarah is gonna orchestrate. Well, it was supposed to be Matt, but Matt's going through some family stuff right now. But so Sarah kind of took over the responsibility to keep it moving. But Sarah's going to get 5 to 6 comedians who are going to perform while each band is tearing up and sitting down. So there's still entertainment going all day long. So the first band lineup.
Consistency.
Yeah. So the first band is going to be Apollo 88. Young guys. They do like a lot of Blink-182 and a lot of cover band. Awesome time. They're really good dudes. They're like the best looking band in the area. I call them like they're all like the captain of the varsity football team.
And I like their whole Bangin' Beers episode. Where
their Bangin' Beers episode was the worst quality one of all time.
That I
Worst
wanted to
quality
listen to
at the
that.
same time.
I was looking for episodes to listen to before I did this, and that was one I was going to do, but I listened to the.
It's bad. What happened was
Video.
YouTube went down right before we went live.
Yeah, no joke. That's exactly what happened. But
We're
like,
gonna have
at
it
the
back
same
on.
time,
That's like when
one guy drank like 2 sips. Like he did like he pounded the beer at one point, and the other guy was just like he fucking poured like 3/4 of the beer. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's like when
I love them just because of that. And like it's like the drummer and the fucking other guy. But Bane, he was actually all right overall.
Bane.
Kid song.
Oh, there's actually stuff in there. Sorry.
I was. Oh God.
Let's cross that off. Anyway,
But it's still a fun episode.
No, Anthony, go ahead and tell me about stuff that's not spilling all over your table.
we'll just throw that out there. Anyway,
Oh, come on.
so Apollo 88,
Uh,
and then after Apollo 88, it will be Mahantango.
Can I just say a thing about Mahantango?
Sure.
They're so fucking good.
That's my favorite.
I
local band
love-
right now.
I've had Liam,
That's my style of music.
I've had Liam on stage with me more times than I can count to do "I'm Not Okay" by My Chemical Romance.
Mm-hmm.
He's so fun and so energetic about it, and I'm like, could you not make me look as bad, dickhead?
And the crazy thing about Liam is you hear his voice. Like if you bought a CD or listened to them on the radio or anything, and you hear his voice, and then you see him live, he reminds me of what's his name from Mike
From what?
Fall Out Boy, when he was like
Patrick,
where he's like he's not your typical look of a front man, but he's so fucking talented.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like remember when they first came out and he was kind of chubby, Patrick.
Oh,
and they're like
kind of
put Pete out there because he'll be the face of the band.
Pete. Okay, let me just because I remember this.
Yeah,
Pete was the one who was out there because he wrote all the lyrics to all the shit.
yeah, and he was a
So-
pretty boy.
He was always the one who was out there, and yes, he was the super sexy emo boy.
Yes,
And I'm like, give me Patrick.
because his voice is amazing.
Because I wanted to fuck Patrick.
Like Liam has that appeal. Like Liam has, he's a super talented, but he like you wouldn't expect that voice to come out of him, and he's super good.
He's great.
My
I love Liam.
my favorite original. Band
Also love Courtney Kelly, who fucking came up and sang a bunch of fucking Japan core songs.
Yeah. My favorite, and I love all the original bands, but my favorite's Mahantango. When I get in my car and I'm driving to work every morning, I put Mahantango on, and I love the song better now. That's my favorite song.
That's dope.
Yeah, like I love that band. So
See, I need to get more into. I still am the one who's like listening to fucking Tear on the screen.
yeah,
Or sorry, what Light and Heart is though there now?
yeah,
Or what they were before they. I love these people. I love that I got to be in I love that I got to be in the moment that these people were in.
mm-hmm.
And I got to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like I got to be a part of Now the City.
Yeah.
When
But there's people all the time looking for projects. It's not
Yeah.
over.
I mean, not for them, for me.
It's not over for you.
It's over for me.
If you put out there, do you want to be a frontman of a band right now?
No.
At all?
I didn't get to tell you what mine was. I asked you what your go-to thing was.
Mhm.
Mine is I want to be a bassist and a backup vocalist.
Okay.
Like overall, I literally
Do you play bass?
No,
No?
a little bit.
Oh,
Like I could do the rhythms of shit.
pick up the bass. It's gonna be South Park right now. Token, you have a bass in your attic. Go
No!
play it.
No, you're not allowed to call me that. No, I 100%. I
Remember that episode though, South Park? Oh, you
No,
know
but
what?
I know the.
So South Park, Cartman wanted to start a Christian rock band, and he told Token to go up in his attic and get the bass guitar out of there and
Oh
play
my
bass.
god!
And Token's like, that's fucked up. I don't have a
Wait.
bass guitar. And he went and got it, and he's like, you're an asshole. There's a bass guitar up there. And he goes, play it. He goes, I don't know how to play. He goes, Token, you're black. You know how to play bass. And he goes, boom, 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 boom. And he's like, I fucking hate you, Carmen.
Now the city took a I think it was Christian plus one. What was it?
Christian plus one.
Now the city took a
And
one
it
of our
was
promo
all-
photos was Christian plus one.
Yeah, and they take all of the Christian song or pop songs and just replace the words with Jesus and Christian and Christ. So it was like, I want to get down on my knees and start pleasing Jesus. I want to feel his salvation all over my face.
No, but that was. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, that was. I.
So if you want it, dude, if you put the work in, it can happen. The music scene right now is awesome, and there's still more people like this music scene right now that's happening, and the bands that are fucking doing it. They're all they're doing is when people go, they're inspiring more people to pick up more instruments and want to do this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is that they're all super supportive of one another is making it more acceptable for more people to say, I want to be a part of this scene.
Well, you hear that, motherfuckers? I am back, and I'm about to straight up catch fire to the music in this goddamn.
No, so go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the band.
I'm going to straight up murder the music in Schuylkill County. Call me.
There you go.
I'm not doing anything.
Yep.
Besides getting drunk and talking about, I guess, Eric Swalwell for no fucking reason. Like, give me that. No.
So after Mahatango is going to be Japan 4, which you're very familiar with.
I'm very familiar.
After Japan 4 will be.
The fact that you didn't see me with Japan 4.
I didn't.
hurts, man.
I heard it. I heard about
Heard
it.
it?
I seen pictures and I heard about it.
You heard about it. Okay.
So Trippin' Billy, to me, I wasn't allowed in there because the people I hung out with were banned from Trippin' Billy.
What?
It doesn't take much to get banned from there, I heard at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it take?
To draw a dick on the wall?
Oh, don't draw dick.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
yeah.
Fair.
To
be fair.
Yeah. So anyway,
So
I was.
I mean,
a lot of
I
people-
got drunk there a lot.
Yeah, so a lot of people that I hung
On
out
their
with
dime.
weren't allowed
And I
to.
didn't do anything.
Yes. So a lot of people I hung
Yo.
out with weren't allowed in there, so I didn't go. And then once I was like, hey, I'm going to start this podcast. I want to network. I want to meet more people. I want to find more people for my show. I went in there because everyone was Japan 4 is awesome. And I went in there and was like, holy fuck, Japan 4 is awesome. They weren't lying. So that I didn't see Japan 4 till like 2 or 3 shows after they were done.
You might have seen when Mike Danger was there.
First time I seen them was with Eddie Collins because I went to go support Eddie. And the second time I seen them was their last show with Mike Danger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both fucking great.
Great shows.
Both fucking.
And now Liam helps out every now and then.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yep.
He's great.
I'm not
They
sure.
are-
I'm not sure who they have frontmanning for the Spookstock show though.
Me. Okay.
Yeah. They literally
Out of
said
the woodwork.
they literally
Whoa.
said at our meeting they said Japan 4 is a Japan 4 show. If Eddie wants to come up and sing, he's more than welcome. If Danger wants to come up and sing, he's more than like.
I think I was in the band when we literally were called the karaoke band.
Well, that's fucked up.
Where no, I didn't like it, but Liam loved it. Fucking Liam. But they were just like, whoever wants to sing can sing whatever they want to.
Yeah.
It's like, that's actually very true about what we do.
The last time I seen Japan 4 was the last showing of Trippin' Billy, and they're all empty, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So
I was just trying to figure out what I was going to do to move.
And at the very, very end, everyone. So I looked around, and pretty much there was like 6 or 7 bands.
You reminded me, I have this. Holy shit!
He almost died.
No, I did almost die. Thank you.
All right. Anyway, pretty much a whole bunch of different bands came up that there's a bunch of different bands that end up being Skookstock bands, which I'll get into in a second, that came up and sang with Japan 4 in their last show. And
all of them.
Yes. So when I would turn around, I said, you know what, man? Who do I want for Skookstock? I looked around, I'm like, man, there was two members of Bad Maggie here. There was 2 members of Apollo 88 here.
There are
Japan 4.
88 people who sang with this one band here.
That shows me that, like, if I want to put a show together, everybody would get along with each other and be a good time.
Yeah.
I don't want riffraff. I hate that band. I don't want them there because they're there. I didn't want that. I wanted
Nonsense.
I wanted a good time.
Keyword nonsense.
riffraff.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sorry, I thought we were gonna keep doing something, but you were like, no.
yeah. So
Nonsense or whatever.
all right, Ben. Anyway, so
Your beard's great.
so when we put the show together, I was like, man, here's what I want. So anyway, after Japan 4 is going to be Look Alive. After Look Alive will be Bad Maggie.
Wait, so Japan 4 is opening?
No, Japan Apollo 8 is opening. Then
Apollo
Mahan
88.
Sango.
Apollo,
Then Japan 4.
No, wait. Give me 1 second. Apollo 88 is opening.
Yep.
Okay. Then
After Apollo 88 is Mahan Sango.
Montana.
After Mahan Sango is Japan 4.
Okay.
After Japan 4 is Look Alive.
Okay.
After Look Alive
Damn.
is Bad Maggie.
Damn.
Yeah.
By the way, fucking yes, Look Alive. Fucking yes.
Good band.
Oh my god.
There's their
Fuck
eyeballs.
yes.
There's
They're
their eyeballs
so
right there.
good. They're so good.
Yep.
It's nonsense. They are. Oh, good.
So after Look Alive will be Bad Maggie. After Bad Maggie will be Faith in Exile. And
Yeah.
that was the show. That was our
Yeah.
6 bands. We were done.
And then
We were blessed with having Faith's Got a Driver and then Crowbot,
Mm.
which is Crowbot's 4th album release party, which is the day of that. They're doing 4 shows that are going to be their album release party,
Mhm.
and we're lucky enough to be one of them.
And I'm gonna actually buy like 4 bottles of their fucking hot sauce.
He's buying hot sauce.
Does Fate?
No,
Fate's on the drummer.
Crowbot is
Crowbot is doing hot sauce.
they're making a peach hot sauce, which is only being sold at the 4 album release
I'll
party
give
shows.
you 2.
Okay.
Hey Eddie, I
I'll
have
give
a
you 2.
question.
I'll keep 2.
I know that there's a whole thing happening. Eddie, are you selling hot sauce? What's going on with you, man? You just
I think every album they make a hot sauce for the album.
oh
Yeah.
okay.
So this is their newest hot sauce for the album.
We should have an agreement where we can actually try that hot sauce. Like me and you get a fucking hot sauce.
I think that's probably not a bad idea.
It's not.
It really,
It sounds-
it really
it
isn't. Like
sounds
I
like
would
a
love
crazy
to
drunk
expand my
idea.
horizons.
Yeah. I mean, we'll buy a bottle and we'll do something with it.
We're gonna fucking eat it. What the fuck are you
Well,
talking about?
Yeah, we're gonna eat it
You fucking goof.
anyway. That's Scoop Stocks. I'm super excited about it. But yeah. So who's on your horizon that you would love to have on your show,
I mean,
Any political figure.
or anybody in general? Who do you want on to talk politics?
Like
Joe Biden.
you're
You want
like
Joe Biden?
you're hardcore like top 3. Okay, let's give him like a
it
top.
looked like
3.
you said top 13. Go
No,
ahead.
top 3. Who you want? Like your absolute like fucking. I gotta fucking squeeze the lemon.
I'm gonna okay, so I understand that I am in this area and I am not going to
Let's be realistic, guess.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
right.
realistic. Because I've been lucky enough to have some amazing people on the podcast, including people who have worked for a congressional candidate. So I'm gonna go ahead and just be realistic with it. I would love Dan Muser to come on the podcast.
Okay.
He is the current representative of this congressional district, and I would love to talk to him about what the fuck he's doing. I think it'd be very interesting to see. I would also like other people from podcasts to come on the podcast.
Okay.
I think that would be fun. I think that would be very cool to have Tim Mangle on again. I think that would be very cool to have Eddie Collins on again. We've talked about having him back on again.
Do you feel like we can actually hold
Yes.
something down?
Yes, I do think.
Oh
that
no! I'm gonna rock and roll.
Let him do the. Yeah.
You got me on a bad day. Put that one.
Do I have you on that? Do I have you on a great day?
Depending on what your definition of a great day and bad day are, but
I would very much like to have people who do this kind of thing for fun or for a real reason.
Mhm.
Because I want to say wholeheartedly, yes, I have a politics podcast called Alcoholics, and it is mostly because I like to drink and talk about politics. and that's where it comes. That's
So
where it comes from.
I'll do one thing with you. I'll be on Alcoholics. I know you're not an Eagles fan, but when the Redskins and the Cowboys play, the following
Well, I would not be an Eagles fan.
the following first time we play Redskins Eagles, I'll come on that show and we'll talk about the game.
Well, you can come on my other podcast.
Yeah, that's
Which is
getting blitzed.
Getting Blitzed.
Yep.
Which is another podcast I have.
Yep.
Which also talks about shit that's fucking important. Can I just say? So we saw today.
You might break the record. I'm for this right now.
Oh my god!
Corey-
Stop me! Stop me!
No, I like this. No, this is awesome.
No, this is fucking good. Guess what?
If this is good, guess what? I'm leaving. Sir, another beer.
I hate him right now.
I'm very sorry. If you want me to.
No.
Okay.
Everything else is good. It's just he worries me.
Okay, that's fair. That's. I mean, I believe that. I'm in a position where I, who is a person who normally roots for the English in the World Cup.
Ooh, USA just won their World Cup today. Good for them.
USA just won the second consecutive, and guess what?
Good strawberry.
And they won.
Look at that fucking shit.
They won with the help of the first goal, which was made by Megan Rapinoe. Rapinoe.
I love Megan Rapinoe.
Ew,
She's my
boy.
favorite player on the planet.
She's so fucking cool.
Yep.
She's so cool.
Guess
And
where she's not going?
and she literally is partially so cool because she turned the entire conservative public against her.
Mhm.
Where she was like, yes, please. Yes. Go. No, go.
Take it.
Go. Everybody. Anyway,
Take away for that fucking shit.
so good. She literally was.
I thought we were fucking plugging you. Go on.
She literally was a person who literally was just like, I'm just a football player.
We're in America. It's soccer. You can say it.
She was a sorry, my apologies. She was a football player.
Thank you.
She was a football player, and I play here. And
All right, we're high fiving.
like she had this situation where Sue Bird, a basketball player in the United States, had to put an op-ed out saying the president hates my girlfriend. Like, that was fucking nonsense.
And you know what they did? They put the men's World Cup and the females World Cup on the same exact time frame.
It wasn't the men's World Cup. It was Copa America.
Oh, was it?
Oh no, sorry. It was Copa. It was not Copa America.
They tried to put them on the same time slot to see who would watch what they would watch more of.
Guess what I want to watch?
The Women's World Cup.
Women's World Cup, where she fucking hits the first goal in the Women's World Cup to win it.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing.
She's awesome.
to me.
She's the best.
She's
she's
so
she's the best.
Rapinoe.
Yeah, she's the best spot kicker on the planet.
She's so fucking great.
Yep.
Also, she has a pompadour haircut.
Yep.
And she's
Oh, I
got.
love the palm.
She
I
was,
love.
She was on ESPN Naked Issue this year too.
She was on. It's called the
body issue.
The body issue.
Not the naked issue.
Not the naked issue.
The body issue.
But she was on with her girlfriend Sue Bird as the first.
Not related to Larry.
Not actually. It is literally.
She's related to Larry Bird.
Hang on.
That'd be awesome if that's the case.
I'm pretty positive, but I wanna check real quick. But it was the first.
Take a sip.
That's extra sour.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
that's
shit.
a sour beer, but it tastes good.
Shit.
Aftertaste is really good. After the sour goes away, it's delicious.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah.
Tastes like a party.
Yep.
Tastes like a party down there.
We did good. We gave you good beers.
I want to say this wholeheartedly. The Bangin Beers podcast did not fuck me over.
Nice.
The Bangin Beers podcast gave me some amazing beers, and I am wholeheartedly thankful, and I'm hoping that I can get fucking man.
I fucking love this.
Yeah, I'll cry. It'll be like me watching Endgame again. I'm hoping that I can get some texts of what I got because I want to keep drinking.
We can snap a photo of those right there. Oh, there's actually some in there. So if you want some of those hemtails, I did thought that was empty.
If you like this, I actually have a few beers on there too.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll come to a close here.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're
That's fair.
we're. I mean, you don't have to leave. You can hang out and talk more. But
I mean,
I'm
I want to hang out and talk as much as I possibly can.
yeah. So we plug the show. So check out Alcoholics on every major podcast platform. Check out their Facebook page. Give them a like.
Thank you. Also, I
what's
want
the-
to.
what's the
I
next
do
episode you
also
have
want
coming
to
up?
say. I will also want to say, please, look at and hopefully subscribe to Getting Blitzed, another podcast I do, which is more fun for everybody because it's sports stuff.
Yeah.
It's sports stuff.
Do you get hammered and do like
It's called
sports
Getting
stuff
Blitzed.
then too?
I literally get real drunk and try to figure out where Kawhi Leonard's going.
What do you feel about the NBA right now?
The NBA.
I'm so disappointed.
The NBA is now at a weird. See, my problem is
There's no one's loyal.
no one should be fucking loyal.
You know, it's like remember the premise of
Basketball?
basketball where they're like, your favorite player goes to every team every year and they don't give a fuck about you as the fan. They just go wherever the money is, and we're going to create basketball. We need basketball right now. This guy just won a championship in his city and just said, fuck you, I'm out.
He didn't. He went to a there on the contract of like 1 year. They don't.
He left San Antonio, said, fuck you. Then
He
went
left
to
San
Toronto.
Antonio for a while.
Yeah, left there, went to Toronto, said, fuck you, now I'm going to the Clippers.
I was going to the Clippers. There is a. Let me just make this very clear, and I want to make sure that I'm
As long as LeBron James is the winner, I don't care.
really.
I hate LeBron James.
I do too, but like for different reasons.
I just can't stand him because he's just fucking. He's the worst thing that's ever happened to the NBA.
I don't think that's true, but however, I will
Let's take
I
all the
was
money.
a Mavs fan, by the way, Dallas Mavs. We got it. We got that ring. But shit, that's not.
I just don't like the fact that he takes all the money out of the team and then wonders why he doesn't win because he has
He
no
doesn't
help.
take all the money out.
He takes all the money, and
He
then he's like,
does.
"I'm gonna hold the team hostage, and if you don't pay me more money, I'm gonna go."
He
somewhere
does
else.
not do that.
Don't like him.
You're not right.
Don't like him.
You're not right. Come on.
Oh,
Come on my podcast.
here we go. Fucking debacle.
Come on my podcast. You're not right.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. NBA's hard for me anyway.
Preview.
My favorite player that
Rocket.
was gonna bring the NBA back for me, and then he got hurt.
Luka.
Nope, and he got hurt.
Luka.
Nope, and he got hurt, and it ruined my whole. I felt so bad for him, and everyone made fun of him, and I was like,
Luka.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose.
Dude,
He won a fucking MVP. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and then he got hurt, and everyone made fun of him and shit on him.
He won an MVP.
Yeah, he's awesome.
What does he have to do? What else does he have to do?
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because he won an MVP.
He does.
So it's over.
So I just
So it's over.
I can't stand when
He
sports
won
fans.
an MVP.
I can't
So
stand when
it's
sports
over.
fans make fun of another player for being injured.
Yeah, like
That sucks.
when the Toronto Raptors fans
Made fun
laughed at
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Drake
for-
didn't though.
Drake did not.
Drake did not.
Drake's the Drake.
Drake is the Spike Lee of Toronto.
Drake is no, because Spike Lee might have laughed at someone. Drake is the
Spike Lee would have ran across the court and put his balls on Kevin Durant's head.
Mhm.
Awesome. Just real quick, awesome sports documentary if you want to watch it. It's called 30 for 30 Reggie Miller versus New York Knicks.
Oh my god.
Great.
Those 30 for 30s are fucking great.
They're amazing.
They're great. They're great. I will say this. Please listen to just to try to end this at a normal place. Please listen to Alcoholics. I hope that I get you to be interested in fun, dumb political topics.
Yes.
Please listen to Getting Blitzed. You'll either love the dumb sports topics we have, or you'll love where Craig's going. Craig is a fun fake host that we have who gets into crazy circumstances that I will tell you after.
Okay.
Please.
What
listen
day do you
to
record
this.
those episodes?
What?
What day do you record Getting Blitz episodes?
Oh, yikes!
Everywhere.
We get drunk, so whenever.
Okay. Let me know.
Let
Weekly.
it ride and
Let me
fucking
know.
go on.
And where do you record? Where do you live?
I live in Bloomsbury, Pennsylvania.
That's not a bad drive.
Okay, cool.
And you can both please come to Bloomsbury, Pennsylvania. And
I'm a frequent.
He goes every
frequent
Monday.
guy. Every Monday for
like every Monday I'm
Mar-
still in
Marley's.
Bloomsbury.
Marley's. They do trivia.
Marley's, they do trivia. Oh my
Monday.
shit! Oh my shit!
Please accompany us. No joke.
Do you win trivia night?
We're not. We have like a three
Stop
piece,
talking.
4-piece band.
You have a 4-piece band.
4-piece band, but we
Do
love
they
to actually
win?
add on.
Do they win trivia night?
We don't, but at the same time though, we're like the top 4.
Have you ever won trivia night there?
I will fucking tell you right now.
So before we end this, before we end this, I used to go to trivia at Capitol in Bloomsbury.
Oh yeah, that's like a Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
It was Tuesday.
Okay.
I used to go to Capitol, and we used to win every night. And we used to their prizes were you get I want to say $20 for a gift card. That was the number one. You get 20 and 20. And I used to win that. We used to win that because we knew that the host used to get her answers from BuzzFeed quizzes. So my wife and I figured that out, and then we went, oh. So what we should do is do all the BuzzFeed quizzes for the week, and then we're gonna win. And we did.
We played trivia in this place locally. Well, I won't say where, and it's actually cash prize. But the problem is the guy who runs trivia is like a super right, as far right as you could possibly go.
No!
And all of our trivia name,
It's like WorldNet Daily's like
yeah,
trivia.
but it's not even trivia. It's opinion based. So like his question would be like, which? So this was a bonus question one week. If we were gonna do if the characters that were on the show Gotham, which one of those characters were the most popular characters that were in the comic? And I was like, well, Clayface was on the show. This character was on the show. And he's like, wrong. It's this character, this character, this character. I'm like, well, they were all on the show. He goes, yeah, but they're not as popular. I said, according to who? You?
What?
Yes.
Batman.
Yes. In the Gotham TV show. He said villains. So like, and then, but every week,
Batman. So
every week we would just, I'm not a political person, but every week, like I would find out what people were like, what the left was making fun of the Trump about.
yeah.
And that was our team name every week. We changed it every week. And then it got to the point where he wouldn't read our team name because he was so pro-Trump that he wouldn't read our team name.
Can I tell you before we go?
Yes.
Can I tell you the worst team name I've ever had as a person who's done trivia? Okay.
We might beat it, but I don't remember any of our team names.
I
Some
don't
of them
think you
were pretty
will.
bad.
I don't think you will, just for the sheer fact of what it is.
Okay.
So, we used to play trivia at Capitol in Bloomsbury. And they were not a huge fan of spoilers there.
Ooh.
So,
Oh.
season 4, I want to say episode 4 of Game of Thrones. We were there, and we had a great name. And They had to read when you do trivia. They read the scores of who the team names are. They read the scores of what's happened so far, and then they read the team names.
Yeah, that's how it was too.
And the one team name they read that they slowed down for was all right with 14. King Joffrey died? We murdered the entire room. It was amazing. It was so good. Fuck all of those people. King Joffrey died. We did that. We did Han Solo died, and she refused to read it out loud. She said, whoever has this name, come up and change your fucking name.
I'd have been like, Solo died.
Solo died. It was so funny. She was not happy.
I can see why. But that's gonna wrap it up here for Bangin Bears podcast. Thank
The
you guys.
longest.
Yeah,
Bangin' Bears
3
podcast.
hours and 45 minutes. Nailed it.
I
Holy
got it.
dog shit.
I got it.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Philosophical.
Did you fucking hear that? I fucking got the I got the record. And I want you to know this. I was 100% going for it. And we go for this.
But check us out. Tomorrow I shoot an interview with Haley Stokes that'll air Friday, and then we'll be back live on Wednesdays and Thursdays for Tornado Tag and things that work in high school. All right, see you guys later.
Hooray!
See you guys. Have a good day.
Have a good night.
That was fun.